Hang on, Chet. Play that awesome beat everybody loves. That's the We're back, baby. We're back. And the shit is about to get real. I'll see you in a second. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome on into the stream. Welcome on in. Welcome to your Wednesday. Guys, there are people out there in the world right now that have seen Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. There's some people in our community that have seen Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't believe it. Let's react to we're going to react to a bunch of videos today. Bunch of videos. If you guys got one on deck you want to watch, let's watch it. Let's watch it. Tanimal, appreciate the 5 gifted, brother. Thank you. Guys, we are crushing this member goal. We are crushing this member goal. 85% of the way there. 86% of the way there. And we've got like 9 days left or something like that. 7 days left. Crushing this member goal, man. And I've got good news and I've got bad news about the member goal. Den of percentages. Yeah. Yo, let me grab a couple of things real quick. What the fuck? Okay, so this one. This one. This one. Josh and his boxers? They're not boxers. But they're kind of like boxers. They might as well be boxers. Would you guys be mad? It's not underwear. They're Marvel. It's Marvel shorts. The hell? Hello? It's not underwear. Nah, stand up. I don't want to stand up because I'm wearing boxers. Okay, anyway, listen. The new... You're not even listening, Linda. Okay? You're not even listening. Woo! Hey, JJ Lamont, thanks for the gifted, baby. It's hot in here, guys. What do you want from me? What do you want from me, chat? It's hot up in here, okay? Now, anyways, can we move on? Okay, the real thing is, I've got good news and I've got bad news for the members and the giveaway. Here's the thing. We're going to do a bunch of giveaways. Number one, for a $200 GameStop gift card. But number 2 and 3 and 4 and stuff, we've got some other swag. And I'm going to go out for more swag today and tomorrow, try to find more stuff. But we've got 2 of these Marvel Legend Wolverines. I actually have this one, and it is awesome. This is actually a great Marvel Legend. Okay. Do you guys remember, like last month where I bought some stuff and I was like bragging about it? Well, it's actually for you guys. So this Psylocke Wolverine combo set. And this one. Yeah, man. In the tux. Patch and Gray Hulk. Yeah, man. Okay, so we're going to be, and I'm, like I said, I'm going to go try to find a couple more items as well. And we're going to do a giveaway. That's the good news. It's going to be freaking awesome. And it also looks like we are going to crush this goal. And we will be streaming an additional day every week. So I'm thinking Thursdays. I would personally prefer, I would like to have Tuesdays off so I can kind of like plan out stuff for the week. And then Thursdays, we're streaming, baby. Yeah. So we're back. We're up to 4 days regular if we hit this 2,000 member goal, which I think we're going to. So that's freaking awesome, dude. And I appreciate all the support, and just, you guys are incredible, and it'll be cool because we'll go out of San Diego Comic-Con into 4 streams a week and having a lot more fun and, you know, just doing more stuff, okay? But the only bad news is we have to wait until Friday to do the giveaway. I underestimated how hard it would be to calculate all the gifted members. I thought there would be an easy way to do this on the back end of YouTube, and instead we are just going through the streams and calculating them individually. So next time I'll keep it sort of separate and try to calculate it a little bit more as we go along. We're about halfway through the month right now. So all the gifted members for today's stream will be included in the giveaway. We'll cap it there, and then we'll do all the giveaways on Friday. So we've got, yeah, with a little bit of work today, a little bit of work Thursday, we should have all of that calculated by Friday so that then everybody gets their thing. Because that's how we're going to do the giveaways for the $200 GameStop gift card, for some of the figures and all that sort of stuff. So if you're a member here, you get an entry. If you're a member on Twitch, you get another entry. If you gift members, you get extra entries for all of the ones that you gifted. Does that make sense? So that's going to be super fun. And like I said, I'm going to go out and try to find a little bit more stuff today. By the way, chat, does anybody know the Marvel Legends, right? The Deadpool and Wolverine, the like really, really good Hugh Jackman Deadpool one or Wolverine one. When does that drop? Is that coming out this week? Because we could not find that. Not out yet? So it'll probably be out like next month or something like that. Or probably SDCC. Okay. Well, we might not be able to grab up those right away, but we'll try to grab up some. It's sold out? What? What does that even mean? They're toys. The Geek Supreme says, I've seen the images, but I don't think it drops for a month or so over on Twitch. Gotcha, man. Appreciate you. Hey, speaking of Twitch, man, have I seen the new Wolverine hot toy? Yeah, dude, they look incredible. Man, it's so tough. We're trying to, like, save a little bit more money because we have this, like, second kid on the way and stuff. But, man, you look at what they're doing, man, and you're like, I don't know. Maybe the baby will be all right, you know what I mean? Maybe it's time to fill the house with Deadpool and Wolverine. That's kind of the vibes. But speaking of Twitch and everything, man, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that was on the Twitch stream last night. It was really fun, man. Got in there with the guys. So we were in there with Adam, Ryan, Justin, Proxy, for a while, Andre, my buddy Brandon for a while, too. It was super cool, man. It was just kind of like a nice casual gaming stream with members of the community. It was really fun. If you hadn't checked it out, maybe go check it out on Twitch. Yeah, the German anchor, exactly. Yeah, it was good vibes, man. The banter was good. The gameplay was fun. So it was cool. Josh, will you be giving out Marvel Rivals codes? Unfortunately not. I didn't get access to codes or anything like that. I mean, I guess I could reach out to them, but yeah, I haven't really done that. So, watch the Real Rejects review? 100%. That's on my list, yeah. Am I going pro yet? I don't know if I'm going pro. I did get an MVP last night, though. That felt pretty good. We had a lot of good wins, too. Yeah, it's, I don't know. We got to get our squad together and get focused if we want to try to do the qualifier. Because that's going to be tough. The qualifier is just one game. You have one shot, one opportunity. Do not miss your chance to blow. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So. Okay, but for today's stream, guys, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be watching a bunch of reviews, reacting to the reviews for Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, press has seen it. Embargo's up, I believe, because I've seen a lot of people doing, you know, reviews and whatnot. Now, here's the thing that's going on with Deadpool and Wolverine. How many of you guys have already seen, like, the reviews out there and whatnot, right? So, yesterday, at the start of the day, when the social media stuff, RT is up. Yeah, that's true. In fact, let's look at that RT score, huh? 81% with 150 reviews in. Okay, so let's talk about this. Yesterday, when I started to see the social media reactions, which to me are kind of like first reviews, and I guess they're not technically reviews, because they don't like go towards an aggregate or whatever. But dude, there were like people were saying a lot of stuff in those social media reactions. So we always just treat them as first reviews and kind of aggregate them and break them down ourselves. So we did a video about it yesterday. Now, at the time of recording that video, I mean, people were pretty high on the film. Like I literally was struggling to find negative reviews. I found 2 of them online at the time. And yeah, so that's kind of like the thing was like the first reactions were like incredibly super crazy positive, like, whoa. And I think a lot of people sort of thought we'd be looking at like a 90% or something like that for, you know, the Rotten Tomatoes or whatnot. And it didn't actually go that way. So there was a time yesterday where the movie was 79%, 78%, and it could go back down into the 70s. As it stands currently at 81, it is the lowest of the Deadpool movies as a Rotten Tomato score indicator. And so you have this thing kind of going on where a lot of Marvel fans, maybe critics too, and people are just, it's like chaos right now. I think fans are concerned. I mean, look, here's what I think a lot of this is coming from. Marvel and Marvel fans have been on a roller coaster ride of emotions. Literally, the last movie that Marvel Studios released is the biggest bomb in the history of Hollywood. And it was a movie that, honestly, I didn't even think was that bad. It was fine. You know, the Marvels. It was fine. Should have been an incredible movie. They should have put some of the creative juice that they put into Deadpool and Wolverine into this movie, into the Marvels, right? And, you know, past the Marvels, you know, you look back, it's Guardians 3, and Guardians 3 was a nice, bright spot. But then before that, you had Quantumania, which was, I mean, in my opinion, it's the worst Marvel movie they've ever made. I absolutely despise that movie. I hate Quantumania with a burning, fiery passion. And then you go into the year before, you know, Marvel's been, it's a rocky place. And so I think a lot of fans are maybe more than they would normally be paying attention to the reviews and whatnot, trying to see what is the expectation or what's the metric. And I think that's kind of part of what's happening. But the other side of this, too, and I sort of spoke to this earlier on Twitter. Oh, my God, Jareth. Hey, did you win all 6 of your races or something? Did you win all 6 of your races and then just sign up for a different race and then win that one, too? 20 gifted members! Jareth! Thank you, man. Holy. Thank you, man. Yeah, holy cow, man. Thank you so much. So this other thing that I think is going on here, guys, is I think there's some critics and just maybe some people in general. Like, we should say it's just people in general, but the critics are what is affecting the score, right? I think there's some critics that are actually mad that this movie is a little bit like back to formula. Now, I'm speculating here, okay? But, and as we'll see if we go through some of the reviews, we're not talking spoilers today, but I did, you know, in the video I talked about this yesterday, there's some people saying the plot itself of Deadpool and Wolverine is a little clanky, and it's, you know, not this, like, massively put together thing. It sort of leans on love of the characters, of fan service, you know, cameo stuff, humor, other things. It's like the movie's more interested in being really, really, really entertaining than like being cinema, right? For us, it's, you know, it's probably just the case that this movie is not Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? This isn't going to be Winter Soldier level, like, oh my God, this is crazy that they're accomplishing this within the genre. You know, it's probably just more like an entertaining ride with all the Marvel toys and a lot of heart, but the heart is based on the characters, on comics, on comic book characters, right? It doesn't try to sort of artificially create, I mean, maybe it does, but my feeling is it doesn't try to create within its own narrative like a human emotional unraveling. It's more like, no, you care about this character, therefore if we do this, it would affect you like that way. I don't know if that even makes sense. But my point is, there's a contingent of people that I think are going to be upset that this movie is going to crush, be very successful, and a big part of that is because of fan service. Like, let's be honest. This movie is going to have a shit ton of fan service. I mean, you can see in what we've already seen from the movie, in what we've been told from the 37-minute thing, it's pretty obvious. This is a big old fan servicey, fun, testosterone-filled, awesome comic book adventure thing. And I definitely think, and I've started to see online, a group of people that kind of wants to reject that. And I wonder if, in general, because, you know, we've been talking, obviously we talk a lot about Marvel, and we follow them pretty closely. And I've been telling you guys for some time, Marvel is aware of some of the things that have prevented it from connecting with its fans. And they're altering it. They're going back to formula. You know? You're going to get a lot more of the old Marvel feeling moving forward. And I think some people are upset at that. And I think they're upset because they liked Phase 4. They liked the idea of Marvel expanding into maybe more of a lifestyle brand and having more of a emphasis on like normies and casuals and people that are interested in all these other weird ancillary things, as opposed to the like 90% of the fan base that's male, just wants dope, masculine, awesome comic book shit. I will be very interested as this transition happens, how other people might reject it and be upset that this is what's happening. For me, I'm loving it, and I've been having a blast, you know, memeing and talking to people, because I'm getting everything I want, guys. I am literally getting everything I want as a fan. I feel directly catered to, and that is probably super irritating to some people. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I just happen to represent, you know, a lot of crossover with most of the fan base. You know what I mean? I speak for the trees. It's not that, like, I was like, hey, Kevin, give me everything I want. It's more that everything I want matches up with a lot of what you guys want. Because we're all pretty fucking similar as fans. If you like the comic book shit, there's certain stuff that you like. You feel me? Like, do you feel me? So, look, at the end of the day, it's probably but a footnote on the story that will be the massive success of Deadpool and Wolverine, and a lot of people just really loving the movie. Of course, ironically, I don't know for sure. I haven't seen the fucking movie. Maybe I'll see it tomorrow, and you'll see this face on the thumbnail. But more than likely, you'll see this face on the thumbnail. You know? So, yeah. Josh, what the hell are you talking about, man? You know what? I barely know. I felt like Joe Biden there for a second. I lost complete control of that train of thought. We're off the rails. Is there such thing as a hater of a hater? Yeah, probably. Okay, so now everybody knows what's going on. And everybody knows that the Nerdvengers are the best, and we're the greatest group of nerds on the internet, and we represent the real fans. Now that that's clear, and everybody's got it signed, sealed, delivered, let's watch some fucking reviews. Okay, which one should we start with? Uh-oh. Oh, I had a 40K video up. I mean, we could switch. We could watch, some Warhammer stuff. We want Harloff. Okay, yeah, let's watch Harloff. Harloff, Deadpool. Deadpool Wolverine review. Damn. Okay, so should we watch his reaction and then the review, or should we just watch the review? You know what? Fuck it, man. Let's watch the review.
Hello, everybody. This is a non-spoiler review for Deadpool and Wolverine. It is the newest MCU movie, the only MCU movie of 2024.
True.
Ryan Reynolds returns as Deadpool, the Merc with a mouth. Sean Levy directing this one. And this is the first MCU appearance for Deadpool. So, if you didn't know that Fox was bought over by Disney, and there was the Fox universe, there was the MCU, and they were pretty much separate. The X-Men couldn't come over. Deadpool couldn't come over. Well, that all changed when Disney bought Fox. And the reason I say, well, why is this relevant to anything as far as the story itself? Because it's relevant inside the story itself. And it plays through the other stuff, that the TVA and time and multiverse and all those things. And if you are a casual viewer, you're like, I haven't watched everything. I just liked Deadpool. Am I going to be lost? Well, I did something to make sure I could have an answer for you, as I took a friend of mine who had only seen Deadpool 1 and 2. This guy hasn't even seen Endgame. He hasn't seen a lot of the MCU stuff.
Well, who's this guy, and why is he your friend? Who is this guy? Or did you find somebody on Craigslist? I need to know more.
In general, and he just likes Deadpool. And I said, I wonder if he's going to be lost. And I said to him afterwards, I said, what'd you think? He said, I absolutely loved it.
Oh, okay.
Now, a lot
He's
of things
cool.
went over his head, but there's other things, and even stuff. This is a love letter to the Fox universe, for sure. There are things that you're going to
you know what's funny? That's kind of an interesting thing, too, is as much as it makes fun of Fox, a lot of people continue to say this. They continue to say that it is a love letter to Fox in some ways, which is really interesting.
Expect to happen that do. There's things that you're going to expect to happen that doesn't.
What?
I will tell you that what works for me in this is the chemistry between Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. And Hugh Jackman and Wolverine together. They work together. Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. He actually comes out. That's not a spoiler. That was me messing up my thing.
What the fuck?
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, Deadpool and Wolverine together working, and it is there. You can tell that they're friends. You can tell that Sean Levy works really well with them. And the story is essentially that the TVA comes to recruit Deadpool, that there's something happening that he needs, that he can do, that his set of skills can do, and Deadpool wants purpose, and he wants to be able to belong, and he wants to be able to be part of something. So
Cool.
he goes along with the TVA, and through that, he's got to find Wolverine. Why? Go see the movie. I'll tell you that. And this version of Wolverine is troubled. Most versions of Wolverine are troubled, but this one in particular. And so what people are going to ask is, does the humor outpower the heart? And I think, honestly, I can say sometimes. But is the heart missing? No, the heart is there. And Hugh Jackman really brings the heart to this particular movie. And Ryan
Oh, my goodness. Elisa with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. That's my wife. And that's probably so that we can have a chance to win some of this stuff in the giveaway. That's actually smart thinking, babe. We'll definitely rig. We'll definitely see how that goes.
Reynolds, when he's not cracking jokes, his story absolutely brings heart to it also. I think that there were times when I was watching it and I'm going, oh, yeah, it was a funny joke. I think that maybe they're really pouring the humor on, and they're really breaking that wall to let you know, this is the Fox universe into the MCU now.
Yeah.
And it's right in your face. And
Yeah.
as much as that sometimes would bother me, this is kind of Deadpool shtick, and they give it to you right away. And there are sometimes, like I said, that I think that the jokes are like, yeah, they're there, they're funny. And I'm like, oh, right there, I wish we would have had a little bit more heart. But it never took me to where I'm like, oh, all this is just joke. There's a lot. There's a lot of jokes. But I think that
it's kind of interesting. Delta Dan gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Nolan gifting 5 memberships. God damn, y'all. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the support, guys. So it's kind of interesting. Let me just kind of break down a little bit of what I think Christian is talking about here. And I think, too, maybe a second cup of coffee, maybe a third before this review, brother. Okay. So he's talking about like the humor versus the heart here. Now, to me, that's particularly interesting because Deadpool is not one of my favorite comic book characters. And in fact, I kind of can only handle Deadpool in certain doses. And it is, I don't know if there's anybody else that are in the same boat as me, but like I'm so excited about this movie. I am a little worried that the Deadpool of it all, it might just be a little bit too much. Frankly, I'm going more for Wolverine. No offense to Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, but I'm going a little bit more for Wolverine. I would see Deadpool either way. I watched both the other movies in the theaters. But my point is, like, you almost have to be in the right mood to really enjoy Deadpool. And I wonder if some people were like, yo, like, I would love this exact story with a lot of the stuff we're going to see outside of the lensing of Deadpool. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, outside of the lensing of Deadpool, would you like to see the series taken a little bit more seriously, maybe? And I am a little cautious of that. However, we just watched Deadpool 1 the other day. And, man, it was a great time. And not all the humor lands, but a lot of it does. And it's entertaining. Like, I think the Deadpool movies are just flat, plain out entertaining. Maybe they're not going to be like that Winter Soldier, that Civil War, the Infinity War Endgame vibe, so it's like really fucking serious. But it's just entertaining, right? And also, Rayumbo gifted a membership. Bianca gifted a membership. Appreciate you. And then Tim O'Brien making it rain with 5 gifted members. My God. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you guys, all of you.
They established the tone very well. And I really enjoyed this movie. And I think that I think that what they do, which I also love, is they don't shy away from calling the fact that the multiverse has been a freaking mess. This phase of Marvel has been a mess.
Dude, I would have loved to like Kool-Aid Man through his set wall there and just be like, you don't say that, Christian. You know what I mean? And get all mad. But, yeah, I mean, that's an opinion. Benjamin gifted a membership. Appreciate you. Dan Merle next. We could do that.
They embrace that. There are cameos in.
Also, guys, would you guys want to watch Deadpool 2 tonight on Twitch instead of the member stream? Like, we could definitely do the member stream and just watch like some live film interviews and watch some stuff. tonight. Or we could do a member tonight, or we could do a thing on Twitch and we watch Deadpool 2. That'd be kind of fun. All right, cool. If you guys are okay with it, it's just a weird week because we're trying to like do so much. So we'll do the members stream next week, and we'll have a lot of fun. We'll pick a new deep dive. Yeah. Let's do it. Deadpool 2 tonight. Let's aim for 7:30.
In here, I'm not going to tell you what those cameos are. You expect them. There have been rumors. I would definitely tell you to stay off the internet in general.
But wait a minute. How are we supposed to watch your video if we're off the internet, Christian?
Because you don't want to get spoiled. You want to see this because there's some reveals in this that I had no clue was going to happen, and I was happy that they do. And it's not just cameos. There's roles. There's one particular cameo that is fantastic. And if you watch my show, you'll know that he's definitely going to like that particular cameo, and I did. And we'll discuss that in the full spoiler review and in the spoiler discussion that I'm going to have with Winston and Coy. But what they did and what Ryan Reynolds does is that the essence of the character himself, and I think that's the beauty of being able to, throw in things like the fact that he is Ryan Reynolds and the fact that some people can find that jarring, but I think because Deadpool's been doing it since the first movie, it definitely works.
Look, the trick is, and this is why, like, honestly, Reynolds deserves a lot of credit. His writing partners deserve a lot of credit here, too. I think the truth is Deadpool's fourth wall breaking ability is fertile ground for storytelling, but you have to be able to use it in the right way. I almost think it's more useful in a movie than even in a comic book. Comic book Deadpool can sometimes, like, it's just like a really tough balance. We've been going through some Deadpool stories, and like there's one of two Deadpool stories. There's like a Deadpool story that's just totally ridiculous, and those are often the best ones. And then there's Deadpool stories where like they try to sort of like graft that character onto like a really serious narrative, and it just doesn't land. Like it just doesn't work. And it's fertile ground, but you have to be delicate with the way you use it. And I think this team has actually been really respectful, which maybe that's a weird word to use, but like they're very respectful of the audience in the way that they sort of use or don't use this fourth wall stuff.
It is a violent movie, very violent movie.
Ryan,
again, I give them people. I wonder if Disney's going to go full R. They go full R and more. It's super gory. It's super violent, and the other thing is they pay respect to the stuff that came before. And I think that, as I said, it was a love letter to the Fox universe. There are things that happen inside of it that you're like, oh, because there was certain things I think people thought were going to happen in a particular way that I don't think did. The end credit scene is what everyone's going to say. I heard the end credit scene is just mind blowing. Not really. It's relevant to the film, but it's not anything that you're going to like, oh my God, what that's what.
Yeah, and I think even that was another one of those fake leaks, which, by the way, we didn't actually talk about this, chat. Do you remember on Monday when your boy was trying to tell you guys that Marvel was likely planting fake leaks and using stuff on the actual production and set in order to throw off leakers and scoopers? It appears that the post-credit scene leak was one of those. Isn't that interesting, dude?
One of the best post-credit scenes ever. It's fine. It's, like I said, it fits the movie. It fits the movie. So I will say that my biggest criticisms was sometimes I wanted the heart to overweigh the jokes, and then there were certain times when I was like, okay, they're gonna play this joke again, and it's funny, but I'm like, oh, I just wish they would just dive into that heart right there. But then they do, and when they dive into the heart, I'm like, okay, I see that this bond that they have, it's a buddy cop kind of, or I guess buddy cop, but a buddy action film with this is how annoying Deadpool can be and how angry Wolverine is, and the two of them together trying to work together, and Deadpool trying to convince Wolverine to step it up, and Wolverine just telling Deadpool to shut the F up, and then everybody else that has to deal with them. I would say people are going to ask the villains, how are the villains in this one? They're okay. They're okay. Villains are okay. It's like there's Nova, to me, I thought was going to be a little more menacing than she was. There were certain things that she did that I was like, okay, this is really going to work. And then it's just she kind of fades in the background, and the spotlight really is on Wolverine and Deadpool.
Interesting.
But it is the best MCU movie in quite a while. It should set some things in motion for the remainder of the MCU and how it works, I believe. So overall, I'm going to go. I'll say I'm going to go 4.3 out of 5.
Not bad
for Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, so I give 8 out of 10. Little 8 out of 10. Little 8.2 out of 10. I think that works. That works for me. So I'm curious, and it could go up.
Christian, did you wake up for this video or not? Christian, crack a goddamn Red Bull.
I got to see it again. Could go down. I don't know if it's going to go down. I think it'll stay there. But I think that this was a movie to me that I really enjoyed.
This is like me on days where I maybe have a couple blinkers before I have coffee, and that's usually a bad. That's a bad formula. Hey, Ryan Jackson, thanks for gifting 5 members, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Holy cow, what crazy generosity.
I was curious because I think that
show respect to Harloff, bro. This is I am smiling. Stefan, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers, baby.
What Marvel did was I think they lost their way, and this movie doesn't lose its way. It clearly feels like part of the Deadpool universe in general. Do the cameos feel? I saw a couple tweets that said that the cameos were.
Hey, we're doing at least 2 or 3 more minutes of Christian, so everybody just buckle up.
Just there to have cameos, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I think that they actually have relevance to what is happening in this overall universe and this overall movie, and it works. It works to me, and I'm definitely going to see it again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else there. The music works. The soundtrack, where the soundtrack for Deadpool has also been crucial in the way that they use certain songs from pop culture and pop culture references and all those things. I think that there's some moments that happen even with the fight scenes and the way that if people are walking in, it almost feels like a wrestling event at one point.
Oh, hell yeah.
I really want to dive into the spoilers.
Yeah, no, I bet you do, man, for sure. Dude, I'm so excited for that. We've seen it a little bit, right, where he sets up the Sabretooth Wolverine fight. And again, like, maybe that's just for some people, they're like, oh, they're going to set these characters up and have them fight, and everybody's just excited to see it. How fucking pedestrian. Yeah, fuck you with your pinky out.
Once I can, not here, but because there's so much I want to talk about of things. There's a particular comedic moment, which I thought was the funniest moment in the movie. There's a sequence that happens in the movie that I thought was hilarious. If I tell you about it, you're going to hate my guts for telling you, so I won't do that. I'll do it in the spoilers. But there's just a moment. There's particular characters that are having a riff, and it's hilarious. It's really hilarious, and it's some of these things that they do use from things that aren't maybe not known to everybody. And that's what I was curious about and why I brought my friend, because there's certain things and references that happen, even in jokes, that are thrown out there that I'm like, if you're not paying attention to what's happening in like the overall news cycle with movies and this, you might not know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
And my friend didn't, but he still thought it was hilarious. He still thought the things were funny. So I'm curious to what the overall audience who's not paying attention, the casual audience, I think that they're going to dig it because it's
fuck the casual audience. I mean, no, it's cool. We need, I hope they like it.
It's full on, balls to the wall. No punches, no punches held back, man. It is. They definitely go for it. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on Deadpool.
Cool, man. That's the man's thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. Who's up next? Should we go to Dan Merle?
And Wolverine,
Should we go to Dan Merle? I like Dan. He's usually pretty balanced. I wouldn't describe Dan though as
Deadpool
a very
and Wolverine
big
hits theaters this week.
Marvel fan. Okay. Because we've watched some of his other stuff, and I think he's even admitted this. He talks about it too, where he's like, he like brings up that as like a caveat to some of the stuff he's saying, right? All right, here we go. Dan Merle.
Weekend, is it yet another phoned-in sequel, or did they put in maximum effort? I'll tell you right now.
Tell us, Dan.
This video is brought to you by Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Dan for a special offer, and stay tuned after the review for more info.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Merle here with my review
Dan.
for Deadpool and Wolverine. The review embargo has dropped, and so I'm sure you're seeing a flood of new reviews.
Oh, my goodness. Saul, thank you so much for 5 gifted, man. Holy shit. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. So excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. Really hoping this does what MOM failed to do as what we all expected. Multiverse games. Love you, Nerd Managers for life. Yeah, dude. I think that you are going to be pretty happy. Yeah.
Your feeds and social media, etc. This is a spoiler-free review in that I am not addressing anything that hasn't already been revealed in the trailers, etc.
cool.
for the film. As always, the caveat goes that if you want to go into the film completely blind, well, you probably shouldn't be watching reviews anyway. But I am not going
If you're completely blind, you can't watch anything, Dan. Come on, man.
to spoil anything that has not explicitly already been put in marketing materials. So let's jump into it. Deadpool and Wolverine, the first Deadpool movie since 2018, the only MCU movie that we're going to see this year, and the union, really, of the MCU and the Deadpool/Fox universe. As Deadpool has grown, the team behind the movie's also grown. We've gone from 2 writers on the first film, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, to 3 on the second film with the addition of Ryan Reynolds, to 5 credited writers on this movie, Reese, Wernick, Reynolds, director Sean Levy, and Zeb Wells, a veteran of Robot Chicken, who also wrote an episode
Are you fucking kidding me? Why is Zeb Wells on this shit? Now I'm scared.
of She-Hulk for Marvel. Deadpool and Wolverine finds Deadpool, also known as Wade Wilson, at a transitional time in his life when he's recruited by the TVA for a special mission. And folks who haven't seen Loki, and particularly
Yeah, Justin, you can do that. You have to be on the Twitch, which we're live on Twitch right now. What's up, Twitch? And you have to be able to... Yeah, you can do it. You just click subscribe, and then there's an option with the Amazon
season
Prime.
1 of Loki will likely be pretty confused because there isn't much hand-holding when it comes to the TVA, multiple timelines, and all that stuff. When Deadpool discovers that his own timeline is in peril, he seeks out the help of Wolverine and finds a variant with...
Zeb Wells is a comic book writer that is currently maybe one of the most hated comic book writers in the genre because of what he's doing in Amazing Spider-Man. A lot of people do not like Zeb Wells. I don't know him personally, of course, but as far as professionally, all my homies hate Zeb Wells.
With his own emotional baggage, this isn't the Logan that we know, love, and have already said goodbye to, which allows us to rediscover some aspects of Wolverine with this new version, and also allows the film to have some fun with Logan's comic book history, as well as get him into that classic yellow and blue uniform.
Yeah.
The trailers have been cagey about other details, so I won't talk about them either, but I will say that there are a lot of surprises in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Some big, some small, some to a scale that I honestly wouldn't have even imagined that they could be in this movie, because I didn't think that they could or would be possibilities even.
Oh, that's
if what
crazy.
you're looking
That's
for
cool.
is a fourth wall breaking, universe smashing, self-aware, self-referential Deadpool movie that delivers on all the potential of this now united Marvel and Fox universe,
yeah, that's what I
then
want.
that's exactly what this movie offers.
Woo! Let's go! They made it just for me! They made it just for me! And others.
The Easter egg hunters are going to have years worth of content dissecting every frame to find all of the hidden Easter eggs and references to past comics and movies, not to mention all the ones that aren't hidden. If what you're looking for is a funny movie, then I also don't think you're going to be disappointed because, as always, the humor is on point between Deadpool and the characters, and of course between Deadpool and the audience. If you thought that Ryan Reynolds and his team were going to take it easy on the MCU, including the slump that they've been in lately, well, then you don't know Mr. Poole very well. Not every joke hits. There was one running gag that I didn't find as funny as the screen time that was devoted to it, but I laughed a lot during Deadpool and Wolverine, and there is no drop-off when it comes to the funny moments. But, and I'm sure you probably suspected that there was a but coming, if you are looking for a streamlined story, if you're looking for something that shows a complete recovery for the MCU, that completely does away with the scattershot nature of some of their previous films, then Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't exactly deliver what I think you'll be looking for. This is a movie that is a collection of incredibly awesome, sometimes mind-blowing things inside of what I think is a pretty weak structure. The movie's trying to do a lot, and it feels like there wasn't enough focus on how to quite make it all work together, which leads to none of the main story points getting the care that they really deserve. Deadpool and Wolverine is trying to tell a Deadpool story, it's trying to tell a Wolverine story, and it's trying to serve as this synthesis and this introduction to Deadpool into the MCU, which would be a lot to ask of any movie. And keep in mind that the development process of this film openly was a difficult one. They worked on trying to crack the story. They had to change course when Hugh Jackman decided to come back. And
that's actually a really great point. So it's kind of an understated thing, but even as far back as like a year ago, there was some scrambling on the movie. They could tell, and this is just the Marvel system themselves. They test these movies quite a bit. Believe it or not, I think one of the reasons that a lot of stuff got delayed was actually so they could go through their normal, more rigorous process where they screen early and often, and they make a lot of changes. You know, that's how they operate. And so even as far back as a year ago, I was hearing things of like, well, some stuff's really good, some stuff they're not so sure about, you know, and they're like fixing it up. So I could absolutely see how the movie doesn't land as this like perfectly put together narrative, you know, with like 5 writers, all kinds of ideas, different things they're trying to juggle. But at the end of the day, what I know for sure is this is exactly the product they wanted to put out. You know, between Ryan and Kevin specifically, I am absolutely certain that they went over this thing with a fine comb and they made decisions, maybe some decisions, that basically chose style over substance, fan service over narrative, and things like that. And ultimately, I think that is the right thing to do. This movie was like the identity of this movie. Like, we're all going to see it, right? We're going to experience it together. But that's kind of the feeling that I get, is that this will be a really well put together thing. It's exactly the product that they wanted it to be, but it just might not have come out in form as complete as a narrative as like Deadpool 1 or Deadpool 2. And I think Deadpool 1 it has the best narrative, not only of those two movies, but of a lot of comic book movies. The narrative in Deadpool 1 is very clean, very tight. Toy.
Not forget that this was also a strike movie, that it was interrupted in the middle of production.
True.
They had to leave, they had to come back. And it does feel like some of that chaos in the development and the production of the film made its way into the final product.
True.
It's a crowded movie, sometimes literally, and that works in the movie's favor sometimes, but it also works against it, including pushing the majority of these
Ben, appreciate you, man. Thanks for a year, man.
established Deadpool characters into the background in favor of Wolverine and the litany of cameos, which makes them feel superfluous in their own franchise. I also had a couple of issues with the actual direction of the movie. For example, most of the fight scenes are done in that Deadpool slow-mo style that we're used to, where we can really drink in what's happening, and that starts from pretty much the very first scene. However, there was one pivotal fight scene that was shot very shaky, and it was doubly frustrating for me because it was a scene where, as a fan, I wanted to drink in everything. It was one of those never again type moments where I wanted to really focus in on the characters, and it was frustrating to have to like wait to find that one still frame inside of the shaky cam footage where I could make out what character was doing what, or what each individual character was doing. That's not the majority of the fight scenes, but I did think at a pretty critical moment there was a poor decision in how they chose to shoot that specific scene.
Interesting. I'm going to be looking for that in the film now. Hey, Maurice, thanks, man, for the 10 spot. Says, assuming DC and Marvel can come to term, is Deadpool capable of fourth walling a DC crossover in the future? Deathstroke versus Deadpool? Absolutely.
Having said that, when I say that there are awesome things in this movie, my jaw literally dropped more than once. And that's not me being hyperbolic. I try not to oversell or overhype things because I think that works against the movie if people go in with expectations that are a little bit too high. But this meets the full potential of bringing Deadpool into the MCU and the possibilities with the fact that he is one of these characters that can jump between worlds and do all of these different kinds of things. There have been lots of rumors about who might appear in this film. Some of those rumors are true. Some of those rumors are not true. Some of those rumors aren't what they appear to be. But it's all done out of a sense of fun, not just fan service, as I felt the cameos in Multiverse of Madness were. Everybody that's in this movie is having a great time, and it shows. And I think that fans of Marvel, not just the MCU, but Marvel in general, will lose their minds at a few of the things that are in
Let's
this
go!
film. As far as who I can tell you is in the movie, well, we have Ryan Reynolds, obviously.
And some people would be like, but Agatha, though.
Was born to play Deadpool in this non-X-Men Origins version. As always, he's hilarious, but also able to ground the character with a sense of humanity. It is largely fun in games, but Deadpool is playing for some really big stakes here, and we actually believe that because Ryan Reynolds isn't just out there throwing out quips, he's actually, you know, acting. And because he's also in the title and on the poster, I think I'm pretty comfortable also saying that Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine, and he proves why he is such a great actor. Yes, he has that Wolverine ferocity and intensity that we know, but he's also incredibly funny in this part because this is a different Wolverine than the one that we're familiar with.
True.
And because he's Logan, and Logan can never be happy, he's also haunted by his past, and Jackman doesn't shy away from that drama.
Ooh,
I
nice.
actually think that this is my second favorite performance from Hugh Jackman.
Oh, let's fucking go! That is so good to hear, man, because it means the dude didn't just come back for a check. He's fucking turning in incredible performances, and we might get several more movies with him in it. Let's fucking go.
As Wolverine behind his performance in Logan. And what I also appreciate about this is it's not a bait and switch. Deadpool and Wolverine is actually about Deadpool and Wolverine. Hugh Jackman is a true co-lead, and he appears throughout almost the entire film. Emma Corrin plays the movie's antagonist. I won't give away what character she's playing in case you don't know who it is. What? I will say that she is a villain in the finest tradition of the MCU, and that she is very good in a part that also feels very underdeveloped. Matthew Macfadyen plays Deadpool's contact at the TVA, a deliciously hateable worm of a man.
Grace said he looked hot. Oh, damn. I mean, I could have told you that. I mean,
and that Macfadyen obviously enjoyed playing. He's allowed to truly embrace that comic sensibility that simmered under the surface of Tom Wambsgans on Succession, and it's great that he gets to play a character that for once knows more about the universe than Deadpool does. And then there are the people that you don't know are in this movie, and I wouldn't dream of spoiling them. Honestly, I think if I spoiled even half of them, you would probably find my house and burn it down for spoiling it for you. I'm sure that those names are out there. Some of them are floating around on IMDb already. Do yourself a favor, shut out all the spoilers, don't go looking for it, because especially if you're a big Marvel MCU fan, you owe it to yourself to be surprised when these characters arrive on screen.
Yeah, and here, you know, I'll just tell you guys for my own part here, and this is just kind of fun. It's kind of cool, right? This will be the first MCU movie, the first movie in general, other than like, you know, indie or smaller stuff, because I don't follow leaks for that kind of stuff. But this will be the first Marvel movie since Infinity War that I'm going in without knowing, like, basically the movie. And that might seem crazy, but I'm not kidding. Like, I literally follow leaks so closely. And also, after a world premiere, I'll usually contact people and get the confirmation. Ooh, a new little trailer came out. Bam, we're going to do it. And this is such a unique situation where I am just choosing to not reach out to those people. And I'm not getting stuff confirmed. Of course, I've followed this movie for 2+ years at this point, and there are a lot of things I know, maybe more than the average bear. But there's also like a question of, is it actually real? What, you know, for sure, what do I know? You know, could this be in there? Could that be in there? Could there be stuff in there that nobody's talked about? Like, I haven't been on the Reddit. I haven't reached out to people. This is the first time in a long time that I'm actually going in, and I will have genuine surprises. So one of the reasons I did this was I wonder if it'll have any effect on my experience. You know, like, it's having an effect on my experience right now, as I am excited to, you know, find that out. But I'll see, you know, after the film, watching it tomorrow at 3, I will let you guys know, not only in the video we'll drop tomorrow night, but also Friday morning stream. I will let you know, did it affect how I viewed the film in a positive or negative way? So kind of interesting. And also, I just have to give a lot of credit to Marvel. It really seems like they kind of cracked the code on this one with the fake leaks. They have gotten enough of the scoopers to be wrong at least once a little bit to sort of throw the focus off. And then, of course, they sniped Can We Get Some Toast and put Toast into a gulag, which I also wanted. So it's just incredible times over here, you know?
There's a lot more I want to say, but I'm going to have to save it all for the spoiler review. So I'll wrap up by saying that Deadpool and Wolverine is the story of two characters, but it's also largely a story of two movies. There's the A+ use of humor and fan favorites in a way that both harnesses the love we have for these characters and uses them in a way that goes beyond empty cameos, and what I think is frankly a C-grade story that struggles to bring it all together. When I look at the movie, I do still see a lot of the struggles that the MCU has had in recent years, including this indecisiveness about where to put the focus of the film. But I also can't deny that I had a hell of a great time watching the movie, and I laughed a lot, and I just enjoyed the experience. I'll be interested to see what I think of the film as time passes and the surprise of what's in the movie and the novelty of the jokes begins to wear off, and maybe I'll be able to get a bit more of an idea of what that's going to be after I see the film a second time before my spoiler review, which is coming out on Friday. But as for right now, in my book, Deadpool and Wolverine gets a lot of things very right that allow me to put it comfortably in the it's good range, despite my issues with the story. And if you're not as hung up on story issues as I am, and I don't say that in a condescending way, I think you'll have even fewer overall issues with what is a very,
hell yeah, bro. We don't give a fuck about stories around here. Fuck you, Dan Merle. No, I appreciate it. That's a good review. Appreciate you, Dan.
Fun
That's cool.
and entertaining.
Okay, so where's this new TV spot trailer thing? You don't like stories. Yeah, no, I mean, they're okay. Yeah, we'll watch Koi's video next, but where's this new spot? Where's the new spot? I don't see it. Where's it at, guys? New trailer? New TV spot? Hello? You guys are crazy. I don't see nothing. What the hell? I can't even search for Deadpool right now. Oh my god, I'm so excited for tomorrow. I'm gonna buy way too much at the theater. Yo, this is pretty funny. Check this out. They have Deadpool at Disneyland Paris, and he is, instead of having guns in his holsters, he has French baguettes. I mean, we just stay winning. You know, this is crazy. This is unbelievable. Holy. Our Maurice says, excited to see Deadpool and Wolverine tomorrow. Is Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and Logan 2017 in the same universe? I think that's the rumor. That's the current rumor. So yeah. Yeah, I bet whoever this actor is, to Calvin's point, is having a blast, man. Like, you know, you sign up, you know, you're going to go work for Disney. You're going to, you know, act, basically. Because you can't break character for, like, the whole shift. Oh, man. Imagine getting the role of Deadpool, even at Disney. That's clutch. Okay, Adam sent some stuff, some links. After the trailer, Koi's video. Yeah, we'll definitely watch Koi's video after this. Okay, is this it?
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I
am Marvel Jesus. That's a good thing I don't give a
Yeah. Oh!
Come again? This time in my ears?
Deadpool and Wolverine is the cinematic event that we've all been waiting for.
Bingo.
Rated R in theaters and IMAX everywhere tomorrow.
That's pretty good, man. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I am Marvel Jesus. That's a good thing I don't give a
Come again? This time in my ears?
Deadpool and Wolverine is the cinematic event that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, dude, the Illuminati getting some love. That's cool, man. I like those guys.
Bingo.
Rated R in theaters and IMAX everywhere tomorrow.
Oh, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Okay, let us now watch Koi's review. I am sure that's going to be a good one, man. Koi's a big comic book sweaty. You know, too, man, do you know the one person I wish I could see their review for this is John Schnepp, man. May he rest in peace, man. The big
Internet,
sweaty.
hello, you lovelies, and welcome to my Deadpool and Wolverine non-spoiler review. Not a single spoiler in this review. I'm going to be so careful.
AMC wouldn't let me buy the bucket until tomorrow. Smack my head. Oh, yeah, that's kind of tough. Do they at least put one to the side for you or something? What the hell?
I promise you, if you haven't seen the movie yet, this is a safe space. I want you to go in as blind as Al.
Want to build a snowman?
Yes.
Nice.
I want you to have the best time with all the surprises, and there are so many surprises. So I would honestly recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, get off the internet. Watch this. I promise it's safe, but
Okay.
the internet is not going to be a safe place after the reviews drop today. So this review, completely non-spoiler. This is the review.
Oh, Mr. JB. Holy shit, man. I appreciate it, man. You guys are too kind. 20 spot for snacks tomorrow. Enjoy the movie. My man, thank you so much. Now I can buy more of the merch, too, so thank you.
That I restarted my solo page for. I got back on YouTube solo to give you this review. If you're new to this page, I do comic book news, comic book reviews, as well as movie news.
I'm going to subscribe, Koi. You've got my subscription.
And movie reviews. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please do hit that subscription bell. Lots of Deadpool stuff coming right after this weekend, because I'm not a monster.
Darboyd says so excited for Deadpool Wolverine tomorrow.
Next week I'm gonna do a
Tampa
full
Bay
Easter egg
Comic
breakdown.
Con,
There were
Nerd
so many
Venture. I mean,
Easter
dude, I'm gonna be at a lot of conventions next year, hopefully. Knock on wood. What if we just have another kid, you know? Don't put that into the universe. Look, as soon as we have baby number 2, and I'd like to get Unity in print, we'll be at a lot of conventions next year.
I saw in this movie, and there's so much to talk about. So at least 2 more Deadpool and Wolverine videos, maybe more. So hit that subscription bell. Let's dive into it without any further ado. Non-spoiler thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Let's go.
I do want 5, but I'd also like
This
just a
movie
little break.
Is
Maybe.
what I've waited 24 years for. This is the culmination of so much of my life and so much that I care about. This movie isn't a comic book movie in the way that some of the greats like Winter Soldier and Infinity
I told
War
y'all. I told y'all. See, like great minds, great minds. I already could see it. I could read the tea leaves, but that's all right.
That they're incredible adaptations of comic book characters to make an incredible movie. This is an incredible adaptation in the way that it feels like you're actually reading a comic. This is much more, to me, akin to your Spider-Verse or the big airport sequence in Civil War, but for the entirety of the film.
Oh,
this
fuck,
feels
bro.
like
Dude,
going
no.
into
Say
the
less. Say less. Put that on the goddamn trailer, Feige and Marvel. What the hell? What the hell? It's like the airport sequence for the entire movie. Boom. That should have just been on the trailer. Holy
the experience of reading a comic. And I think that's because we've gotten here as a film-going society and as a pop culture society. I think we had to get to this point. We couldn't have started the X-Men in bright costumes. It wouldn't have done well. It wouldn't have translated to that audience.
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
But we've gotten to the point where a Wolverine suit can be yellow and blue. And that's just a microcosm to the macro of how comic-y this is. There's so much in this film that every act has a different moment that is so insanely comic book that I'm shocked that it exists in live action. And it feels like what you experience when you're directing the spaces between the panels in a comic.
Ooh,
So that
I
to
like
me
that.
is much more in the Venn diagram of comic than movie. And I love Winter Soldier. I love Iron Man. I love Infinity War. Those I would put more in the Venn diagram as more like movies that have comic book characters in them. So this is really unique in that it is so purely comic book. And that made me so happy.
Yeah, dude, you guys were right. This is a great review. Koi was born to make this review.
And I realized that it is the culmination of 24 years of my life. The first X-Men movie changed my life. The first X-Men movie made me realize it was possible that these books I loved could be made into movies. And a huge part of that was Hugh Jackman. And to see him back in the most Wolverine way. I love Logan. I think Logan's incredible.
Yeah,
it's
Logan
a
is
Western
incredible.
that
Yeah.
has Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in it. And I think that's its strength. This feels like a comic book Wolverine translated into live action. And Hugh Jackman is just as good at playing that Wolverine as he is at playing Logan in a Western film.
Okay.
And that is the versatility of Hugh Jackman as an actor. Ryan Reynolds, in the same way, is plucked from the comic books. Ryan Reynolds was born to be Deadpool.
True.
He just had to get the suit later in life. He was given comic books on the set of Blade and basically told, you're playing Hannibal King like this guy. You might like this guy. And in that moment, I feel like the multiverses collided and two things became one. And finally, Ryan Reynolds was on this long journey to bring this movie to us.
That's great.
Because
Yeah,
this
that's super cool.
is a comic book come to life. Hit that subscription bell because I'm going to drop a spoiler review that is going to be diving into the pure madness of each of those three acts.
We will
and
react
what
to it.
Insane comic things they were able to
We
accomplish. But in this
will
non-spoiler
react
review, I
to
do
it.
want to say that this is what a love letter to comics in the medium of movie is. This is a love letter to the comic characters in the medium of movies is, but it's also a love letter to us, the viewer.
Good, because
This movie
I need some
loves
love,
comic
Kevin.
book movie fans.
Kevin!
This movie is what comic book movie fans wanted from the beginning
Yeah,
of
dude,
Spider-Man
yeah.
and X-Men and Blade and evolved into 08's Iron Man and the
Yeah.
Spider-Man films that rebirthed Sony and where we are
Why did you put Andrew Garfield there?
now. All of that is leading to something this comic-y. So it knows that and it thanks you while you're watching it. It feels like the movie itself loves comic book fans. So while you're watching it, it is something that I don't think if you don't like comic book movies, you'll get anything new out of. In fact, you might have the most problems with this. And I'm really curious, as of filming this, I don't know how the Rotten Tomatoes score is. I don't know how other people thought of it, except the people I saw it with, but this won't be for people that don't like comic book movies, maybe to the nth. This is the least approachable of, it's not really my genre. It is so much for
Dude, that makes me so happy. And it also, doesn't it give context to the reviews out there? And like he said, he's not even paying attention to the Rotten Tomatoes. But I think what he's saying here gives context to the other reviews. That is so interesting.
us. It's a love letter for us. That said, I think it's going to make so much money because there's so many people that have spent 20 years loving these movies.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
maybe the most rewatchable movie I've ever seen.
Dude,
I am immediately
Fuck yes. And I thought that too. I had an instinctual feeling that that was specifically being targeted, that they wanted repeat viewings and therefore they crafted the movie to sort of be this movie that after you see it, you just need to see it again, to digest it, to sort of pick apart some of the stuff that you saw, to maybe even hear the actual dialogue, because when you first see it, it's going to be over, laughs and crowds going crazy. I can't wait. I wanted a movie, guys. This is the thing I wanted badly. I wanted a movie that I was so into that I would like sneak out and see matinees. You know what I mean? And that I would just like go watch the movie and want to keep watching it. You know what I mean? And this, I'm already planning a trip on Sunday to go down to Pittsburgh and watch it with like my best friend because, it's about friendship and shit like that. But I want to go see it with all my friend groups. I want to go out to Philly and see my Philly friends and see this movie because we all used to watch movies together in Philly and stuff. It's just, I wanted something like that so badly to like want to go see the movie, to see it with people, to have that experience. That's what I want.
upset that I'm going to Comic-Con right after I film this video and I won't get to see it again until Sunday. I'm immediately upset that I know I laughed over a ton of jokes and I have no idea what I missed because I was in full belly laugh missing moments. There are so many sequences that I laughed through other things that this movie's going to be brand new to me the next time I see it. And I also love that it is so impactful that I can replay the movie in my head, remembering all the jokes that I did hear over my own laughter, but I can remember the sequences and how they made me feel and what they brought me to. And the opening credits is the only way you could possibly keep up with the opening credits of the first Deadpool movie. The opening credits of the first Deadpool movie are some of the most ingenious things.
My God, a $50 super chat? Holy shit. 50 because the answer, the question might be a bummer, but if Ryan's Deadpool shares Logan's 2017 universe, then technically aren't there two Wade Wilsons then? Either way, I can't wait to see it. I don't know how that's going to work exactly. I'm hoping that it's explained well in the movie, but there's not gonna be one Wade Wilson in this movie. I mean, we've seen the Deadpool variants and stuff. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. I'm a little confused as to how that part of it's going to work together as well. So, yeah, we'll find out together. We'll talk about it Friday morning, and I hope you're here. Appreciate the 50, man. Very generous today. Appreciate you.
Things I've ever seen. When the credits started in Deadpool 1, I knew in real time my life was different. I had waited for that movie for so long. I've loved Deadpool for so long. Deadpool is one of those characters that only comic fans knew. He was like an inside joke.
True.
He was just for us. When those opening credits started, I knew they had done it. Those credits showed me everything there was to say about the team behind it, about the sense of humor, about the heart of the character. Deadpool works because
Coy is like nerd Oppenheimer here. He's breaking this shit down to a metaphysical level. God damn, Coy.
Sad and broken he is and how violent he is like an outlet. It's like a diaphragm spasm. Laughing and crying are super similar. And
He's
Deadpool
nerdy
He
Oppenheimer.
is tragedy as one character. Those opening credits and everything that led to them showed me those filmmakers knew this character. I've always known Ryan Reynolds knows the character. Like I said, he was born Deadpool. He just had to get the suit. Those opening credits were that impactful to me. These opening credits are just as insane.
What?
And it elevates on some of the playfulness of that one. And it works so well for Deadpool and Wolverine in a way I cannot describe. It plays with continuity, it plays with canon, it plays with fun pop culture. It does all the things Deadpool is.
Okay.
Deadpool is the internet come to life, and the opening credits get all of that. And then the closing credits, there's a post-credit scene, and it's amazing. And the credits themselves have a scene that nearly made me cry. I won't give anything else away, except that know that the credits were, oh my God, impactful, and there's a great post-credit scene. So that's big.
Dude, that's crazy because a lot of people were shitting on the post-credit scene. Maybe you just have to be a sweaty to get it. Maybe Christian was like, all right, that's okay. All right. I'm not going to drink coffee before my review, but all right. And Coy's like, oh, but that means this, that, second, and the third.
Beginning to end, non-spoiler, of the sheer emotional journey I went through. I do want to say that I was, if you follow me, if you're not new to this page, I was right about so many theories, but I was wrong.
Oh, he said during the credits, not the credit scene?
About so many theories, and some of the things I was so exactly right about. I'm so happy that they see the character so similarly that I do. And some of the things I was so wrong about, I'm actually really glad they took a left instead of a right. I'm actually really glad at some of the choices they made because I got to be surprised and I got to be so enveloped in the story. They played with canon and lore and the mythology so well. The amount this team loves the Marvel movies and the Fox movies is insurmountable, and the amount that this movie knows where to poke and prod at the current state of everything pop culture, of everything comic movie, of everything MCU and everything Fox is also insurmountable. This movie is made by people like me. It feels like there was one of me sitting in every writing session going like, or like, like it's so pitch perfect tonally to nerds.
Let's fucking go!
Nerdy. Like this movie is the closest thing I've seen to, I feel like they're with us, not Big Bang Theory punching down. It's with us making jokes about and for nerds. We're in the writer's room. So I got to give some love there. I also want to say that the cameos that everyone's talking about are incredible. That's why I think you should be off the internet. You should not watch anything else. I'm worried that you're even here if you haven't seen it yet. But the cameos are more like supporting roles. Sure, there are cameos, but there are some truly incredible supporting roles, and I'm not going to give them away. But those supporting roles gave me everything I wanted when I described what I wanted out of the heart of Deadpool and what I wanted out of this film. So if you've seen my thoughts on where this movie might go, if you've seen my hopes for what this movie is, the heart they gave these characters, these supporting characters, are able to give me such beautiful moments that mean so much to me as someone who's spent 2 decades of their life doing this personally and professionally. I turned my love of comics and my love of comic book movies into my job. And they gave me these amazing moments, these amazing nods. And again, spoiler review, I'm going to talk about all of them that I can dive into within however long I talk on that review. But it is so special. I cannot believe it exists. It is in some ways a love letter, and it is in some ways a diss track. It is in some ways a passionate, this is what we've built, and in other ways a scathing, this is where things didn't go right, all while celebrating this is why we're making this. It is in no way not ever in love with what it's doing. It's
cool.
a movie about passion, and it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
passionate. It's a movie about friendship that is so clearly made by friends. It is a movie about celebrating
Yeah,
a cinematic universe that is aware that it's playing in a
Yeah,
cinematic
yeah,
universe
yeah.
when we are in this cinematic
Yeah,
universe,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
the perception of this cinematic universe is. I laughed. I nearly cried. I love the brutality. I love the intensity. But most of all, I love the heart and the passion. This movie, again, made by and for comic book fans, made by and for Deadpool and Wolverine fans. This
Hell
movie
yeah.
is as much a Wolverine movie as it is a Deadpool movie. And this movie is the most comic Wolverine I've seen. And this movie is the culmination of
Yeah,
everything.
I should
Ryan
send him
Reynolds
a
has done
copy
with
for sure.
Deadpool. And this movie is for Deadpool and Wolverine fans, as well as Deadpool and Wolverine fans. And Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are clearly amongst that, and Sean Levy is clearly amongst that. I love what Sean Levy built with his directing style that I don't want to get into without spoiling stuff. I love what the writers did by making these characters work in one of my favorite buddy comedies of all time. And outside of comic stuff, I'm a Lethal Weapon guy. I'm a 48 Hours guy. I'm a buddy cop guy. Like, that's one of my favorite genres. They put them together. If Ant-Man you enjoy because you love heist films, if you enjoy the tech futurism of Iron Man, if you enjoy the thriller espionage elements of Winter Soldier, this is the buddy cop version of that. This is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles superhero edition. So it is everything I wanted and more. I'm
It's
so
everything I
impossibly happy and so impossibly
wanted.
grateful. Watch my spoiler review. This was so hard to do a full review without spoiling anything. Do not be spoiled. Enjoy every secret, every surprise. If you take anything from this review, get off the internet. Please, please, please. Go see the movie. It is so special. Thank you to Sean Levy.
Hey, go give Coy some love. New channel that he started?
Thank you to Hugh Jackman. Thank you to Ryan.
New channel-ish? Okay. Boom. Subscribe. Like the video. Man, what a great review. How do you spell Oppenheimer so I don't look dumb? Did I nail that shit? Let's go. Boom. Go give Coy some love on that review, man. That was incredible. All right, who's next? Who's next? New rock stars? All right. Spoiler-free review.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a spoiler-free review of Deadpool and Wolverine, the third film of the Deadpool trilogy.
Yeah,
the
we'll do
only
this.
Marvel
We'll
film
do
of
3C
2024
and
the
Real
first
Rejects.
Deadpool film in the MCU. I was fortunate to see the full 2 hour and 8 minute film at a press screening a few days early, and I'm going to take you through my general thoughts, what to expect going into this movie, whether it is the messianic Marvel
I'm going to take you for a ride.
He's a savior to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that it presented itself to be, and controversially, my numerical score and ranking. And I am wearing our Deadpool and Wolverine inspired face-off shirt available at nerdright.shop. Grabbing one of these is the best way to support what we
Those look cool. Yeah, JCB, you got the custom emojis. You're a Nerdvenger now. Appreciate you all over on Twitch. I'm trying to get better at like watching Twitch chat too, man. It's just tough the way it's currently set up. We'll figure it out though. We will figure it out.
are doing here at New Rockstars. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, let's start with my general thoughts.
Anthony, you're
Here's
a
actually what I
Nerdvenger now.
tweeted coming out of the theater, and I know you may have seen it on Twitter right now, but it is worth repeating, and I'll explain why. Deadpool and Wolverine was the most fun I've had at the movies in years.
Don't you dare walk back these comments.
It's a Marvel fan's delight. Cameos, yes, but Ryan Reynolds handpicked the ones to deliver surgical comedic impact. It rewards MCU obsession and knowing the lives of these chiseled heroes. It's easy to see the Marvel Studios titles and feel eased into safety.
3C is the best, in my opinion. Love that guy. Everything is always fun for him. He's got great energy. I'm a fan. I think Chris is great, and he's great for the space, you know?
Not here. Deadpool and Wolverine wipes the slate clean and smears it with blood. No stab, snicked, or splat was pulled. It's not as sexually overt as the past two Deadpools, but it makes up for it with carnage. Is Marvel back? That's a question for Kevin Feige at Comic-Con, not for Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie makes a strong case. It has some fun with the malaise. I can't wait to see how the
What the fuck is malaise? Why are you saying, just say mayonnaise?
fandom takes the jabs. We might need to see it a few times to catch all the bits. Hugh Jackman gets to explore a new dimension of Logan and Deadpool and Wolverine. The yellow and blue suit isn't just fan service. We're back to the classic Marvel DNA of exploring why the suit is worn. The film understands it's in the shadow of Logan from 2017 and mines that darkness. I wanted to repeat it here because while our opinions of movies can change over time, and perhaps they should, it's helpful to bottle that immediate aftertaste in your mouth when the popcorn and frozen Coke are still mixed in with it, before our personal feelings are tainted by the internet and our nerdy friend who's louder than we are, both of which I'm realizing I am to you right now, and I'm sorry about that. But really, just to rephrase this here, over 2 hours, Deadpool and Wolverine will have you cheering at the action, marveling at the fan service, and rolling with meta humor best appreciated by Marvel nerds and followers of the lives and careers of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, at least the versions of them on the People magazine covers. And I swear I had not seen the movie when I made our primer video, but trust me, our Deadpool full recap video will completely cover what you need to know going into this film. Without spoiling anything, the film does cover that wide a breadth of Marvel history. So what happens in this movie? No spoilers here. Deadpool, Wade Wilson, now finds himself in an aimless state, having given up being a hero. The TVA approaches him and offers him the chance to leave his doomed universe to join the MCU, but Deadpool resists this and finds a Wolverine from another timeline to try to save his home universe.
Yeah,
but
we
the TVA
do. You're right.
banishes them to the void, where they meet Cassandra Nova and lots of other fun, familiar faces show up after that. I'm not going to go further than that because it's so easy to spoil the crazy things that happen in this movie. But I'll say this, these cameos, which trailer footage has mostly avoided, thankfully, they really aim for quirky quality over stifling quantity, if that makes sense. Like, as opposed to the quick gag cameos of Brad Pitt and the X-Men and Deadpool 2, these cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine carry real weight to members the story, and they give proper redemption to Marvel past. It's not even fair to call them cameos. Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy built a new story around these folks and let them drive the narrative, and I really love that about this film. And so we're clear, there is one post-credit scene, and it comes at the very end of the credits, so you gotta stay all the way through all those very talented VFX artists who worked on it. So what you'll love about this movie, Marvel fans have been craving impactful stunts and action in the MCU, and to do that properly, characters must get hurt. And in this movie, they get hurt. People die, and you see it and you feel it, and it's awesome. The fights in this movie bring the pain, fireworks of blood and bone and everything else that might be under the skin. It is the goriest, gnarliest, most twisted array of brawls that you have ever seen following the Marvel Studios logo. For parents wondering if it's okay to take their kids to see this R-rated film, the violence is heightened to cartoony extremes, and it unleashes a flurry of F-bombs, but sexually explicit imagery has been significantly dialed back from the previous two Deadpool films. There are a few lines that
I'm taking Liam tomorrow, basically. Caleb, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, man. Appreciate you.
raunchier than the pegging joke from the trailer, but it's so buried in the classic Ryan Reynolds-y wordplay and innuendo that it's just likely to go right over the kids' heads. That's my opinion. Am I gonna bring my 7-month-old to this movie? No, don't bring babies to movies. Are you crazy? But getting back to things you'll love about this movie, while the viewers this weekend are likely to focus on the famous faces that show up, the best performances come from Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova and Matthew McFadden as Mr. Paradox. Two of the most talented actors Marvel Studios has ever cast in their projects. They elevate their roles with this madcap energy,
who gives a shit?
Palpable understanding of the physics of their toy box worlds. Also, this movie is packed with jokes, and you're gonna have to likely watch it at least twice to catch everything. Reynolds and his writers have just such a good grasp on self-aware humor, also on puppeting Deadpool with physical gags and clowning, and just brutal commentary on culture, on show business, and on the Marvel fandom. Yes, we come in the crosshairs, and we totally deserve it. Not even the actors' personal lives are spared. But beyond the humor is a heartfelt story about purpose, feeling like an outcast for reasons beyond your control, and not wanting to lose the misfit toys that you grew up with. Deadpool and Wolverine is actually thematically resonant with a Toy Story film. Like, we see two action figures who feel cast aside, and they're torn between a chance at a selfish afterlife or renewing their purpose for a new generation. Specifically, what this script and Hugh Jackman do with the character of Wolverine, I was so impressed with how they could take a character we've seen so many times already and leave no stone unturned for what every past film version of Wolverine has missed about the character from the comics.
That is
it's
really
not just the yellow and blue suit, it's the relationship to his X-Men, to his Charles.
Yeah, and you know, it's really fascinating because, and I'm going to do a whole video on this actually, probably drop tomorrow before the Deadpool review. But, yeah, maybe I'll drop it Friday. We'll see. But it's about Kevin Feige's comments about Hugh Jackman returning and what that means for Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Okay? You know, Feige basically said that they're just happy they nailed it with Hugh Jackman, and by nailing it with Hugh Jackman, it shows that it can work, and it shows that you can bring them back if you treat it with the right level of care. So, like, as I've been saying for, I don't know, years at this point, RDJ's coming back, Evans is coming back, and it's going to be handled with great care. Just as much, if not more, than what they did here with Hugh Jackman. So that's like a really interesting thing to be kind of looking for within this film. And I think it'll be the biggest, like, selling point on why bringing them back will work and not just be gratuitous, not feel like freaking Rise of Skywalker with Palpatine, you know? Like, there's actual thought and care that's going to be done with that.
To his legacy. For once, Wolverine is not that concerned with his claws, and he's not this cold animalistic loner. He is a family man who misses his Charles, his Scott, his Jean, his Beast, his Aurora. You can tell just by looking at this guy, especially after watching X-Men 97, and realize, man, someone just needs to give this guy a hug and to say,
True.
me, my X-Man. So let's talk about the Marvel Jesus of it all. Does Deadpool and Wolverine save the MCU? Is Marvel back? I don't agree that Marvel ever
Oh, interesting. That is interesting, Aaliyah. I think that'll probably happen for a lot of people.
truly left. Deadpool does score a low blow by saying Marvel is at a low point, and I guess it's kind of hard to argue with that. I'm sure this
You guess it's kind of hard to argue with that.
movie is going to make plenty of money to reassure shareholders, but I don't think it's this movie's job, nor does it even aim to do this, to save the MCU or to advance MCU world building. I think that's the job of Kevin Feige at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, and I'm sure we will all have a better idea of how the pieces fit together in a week. But Deadpool and
So I think that the point he's trying to make there is actually fair, but I would argue winning solves everything. So there were moments even within Marvel's catalog. I've tried to make this point before. It's like kind of a nuanced point, and it's a hard one. There were long periods of time within Marvel's own catalog where, like, we're not making Gone with the Wind here. You know, it's just serviceable, fun comic book movies. The reason you had people like Scorsese coming out and calling them amusement parks was because they prioritized fun and fan service and excitement and wish fulfillment more than certain narrative, you know, structure or confinements, depending on how you think of it. So this whole idea, like, there's been a lot of, one of the maybe worst byproducts of the Marvel fall off has been all the different prescriptions that people have applied. Like, well, this is the problem and they need to do this, or it's the whammon and the wokeness, so they need to do this, or it's like they just need to tell good stories. And I think a lot of it just misses the mark. You know what they need? Plain and simple, W's. That's it. It's really fucking simple, dude. W's. You need to be crushing it. You need to be the cool fucking thing again. You need to have people being like, dude, I love that shit. That's what you need. And you get there with big crowd-pleasing movies that make massive box office. So while I think hype and anticipation is an important staple of the formula and an important staple of Marvel's specific strategy to keep their fans engaged, and therefore San Diego Comic-Con becomes an incredibly important part of that, I actually do think that big fucking movies like this that are real crowd pleasers, that's a really, really important part of it as well. Caleb Senpai says, just stopping by on a lunch break. Can't wait for Deadpool and Wolverine and IMAX tomorrow. No Avengers for life. Take my money. Hey, appreciate you, brother. And then Mike says, got tickets to watch this twice tomorrow, you lucky duck. Then going to visit my friend a few hours away for the weekend to watch it. Nerd Avengers for life. Much love.
Wolverine is a self-contained movie. It's focused on just the two title characters, and I think it's better for it. It's focused more on making you appreciate Marvel pre-MCU, the world of the aughts that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige earned their stripes in, and not with fixing every little thing about the MCU in 2024 and beyond. Nods to Secret Wars are hinted at, but sparingly. The TVA from the Loki series is featured in this film, and as a huge fan of the 2 seasons of Loki, I was delighted to see that. But as depicted in this film, it's largely just a 2-level playset and sandbox for the characters to tumble around in. And I don't know, just based on this movie, I'm not sure Ryan Reynolds appreciated the Loki series on the level that most Marvel fans did, at least in terms of the mythological and philosophical implications of this organization. Now, that might just be me as someone who went way too deep in breaking down every episode of Loki. I just think Loki is one of the best things to come out of the MCU post-Endgame. Geology has been...
Fair point. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see and kind of let that, see how we all personally feel about that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really see myself agreeing with that.
We'll see for over 2 years, which is crazy because that means I've been a daily geology user for 2 years now. When we started, I thought,
you know what, Eric, your skin does look great. So good for you.
Sure, I'll take some free face wash and shampoo from work. Why not? But then I started noticing smoother, more hydrated skin.
We're not going to skip the ad.
Do you have any idea how much?
I only skip ads if we're on like a member stream or something like that. We owe the courtesy of letting the ad play if we're reacting to the video for content. That's the least we could do.
Footage of myself I need to watch at this job. I notice these things. And now over 3,000 of our viewers have also made geology part of their daily routine.
Damn.
They've shared reviews with us saying things like,
thanks, Aaliyah. No, I use a different
and definitely
product,
have a real impact on the look and feel of your hair and skin. Highly recommend. And also, not a skincare guy. Well, at least I wasn't.
You know what? I'll tell you this too. I'll tell you this. You know who put me on to skincare and finally got me to see the light? It was a gay coworker back in the day at the restaurant. And sometimes you just need a sort of journeyman, older gay dude to come into your life and make you aware of some things that maybe all of your straight friends are not going to tell you. Keep that in mind.
This stuff is amazing and the products are top notch. Want to see for yourself? Just click the link in the description below, take a quick 30-second quiz, and Geology will figure out your routine.
Luke Skywalker.
For you. Just click the link in the description below to get 90% off your first skincare trial set and 20%.
They did that on purpose just to trigger me.
Off your next full-sized order, or go to geolog.ie/rockstars90x20 to get started. So here, I think, is what you'll miss, where the movie struggles. As what pitches itself as Deadpool's introduction to the MCU, you kind of feel like Ryan Reynolds in this movie might be resisting joining the MCU as it is, and instead latching onto a visual and conceptual middle ground version of the MCU that was presented in the Loki series, a series that, again, I'm not convinced this film truly appreciates.
Yeah, I know, Garrick, we heard you the first time.
2017 Logan film, but that's a movie that Deadpool already began to unpack with 2018's Deadpool 2. And despite the truly amazing fights and the incredible fan service, there are moments where Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy's economical approach leads this film to feel smaller than it should at times. And for a film that requires viewers to know something about the studio acquisitions and industry politics, that also means that this film must also play to an audience who knows that it was shot during a 2023 writer's strike and thus could not benefit from revisions or reshoots, which I have to admit, you do feel at times. I'll just say this, as much as I love Sean Levy and I'll watch everything that guy makes, it's probably for the best that Marvel is considering the Russo brothers and their even more talented storyteller writers, Marcus and McFeely, for titles like Avengers Secret Wars, where the fights have to be just as good, but serve even more epic fireworks and world-building implications.
Yeah, and maybe that's fair. I mean, we're going to have to see it up for ourselves, but I kind of understand the point there. I think I see what he's saying, and yeah, they're probably making the right move.
Saying that's the job of Deadpool and Wolverine. I just want you all to have some expectations going into this movie. So some final thoughts and ranking. I hate grading Marvel movies. But you know what? If I'm saying I'm gonna review a movie, I gotta give it a fair review. And I'm gonna give Deadpool and Wolverine an 8 out of 10. I know some of you are gonna come at me saying, how could you give this movie anything less than a 10? I don't think it's fair to say this is a perfect movie. I think some of you are gonna find issues with this movie, and I just wanna be fair about this, as fair as I can be. I would have given Deadpool in 2016 a 10 out of 10 when I first saw it, but probably I'd give it a 9 out of 10 now, only because the jokes were all very topical of the time in 2016. And they don't have that timeless quality in 2024. And I doubt these jokes in Deadpool and Wolverine will hold up 8 years from now. Now,
Yeah,
the action and the physical gags are totally going to hold up. But the jokes, which are such a big part of this movie, I'm not sure they're going to hold up.
That's
now,
fair.
I did this for the Marvels. So, again, I'm going to rank this movie with all the movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe since 2021, including Phase 4 and Phase 5. Deadpool and Wolverine is definitely right up there at the top, right under Spider-Man No Way Home. I know some of you think No Way Home is overrated and just a cameo fest, but I actually think the No Way Home script better delivered on its...
Dude, No Way Home's an incredible movie. Who are these grumpy buttholes? That movie's incredible.
promises and had a pretty good arc for Peter Parker that often goes underappreciated. With Deadpool and Wolverine, as was the case in Deadpool 2, there are often times where Deadpool is just kind of like riffing and making jokes about his surroundings and not always pursuing what his character's arc is. That doesn't make it any less of a movie. It just kind of makes it hard to take the character seriously when we need to take him serious. Now, I'm sure there are going to be people saying that Deadpool and Wolverine is the best MCU movie since Avengers Endgame, and you know, I think they'll have a good argument. If you feel that way, I don't fault you. But yeah, here's how I rank the Marvel movies.
The script is sloppy for No Way Home? Hell no. Are you kidding me? That script is toy.
Movies since Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home at the top, then Deadpool and Wolverine, followed by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, then Shang-Chi, then Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness, then Black Panther Wakanda Forever, then The Marvels, then Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, then Thor Love and Thunder, then Eternals, then Black Widow. And to give you a full context of where I think Marvel is right now, here's where Deadpool and Wolverine ranks with all MCU titles since 2021, including the Disney Plus titles. I know just by showing you this list, you're gonna be like, wait, that over that and this over that?
Yeah, that over that.
So let's just get it off the screen.
No,
ranks with
we're gonna pause it and torch your ass. Secret Invasion, yeah. Black Widow, I think Black Widow's all right. The worst part of Black Widow is the Taskmaster thing and then the twist at the end. Super lame. Tom Walker with 5 gifted members. Holy shit. Eternals, yep. Falcon and Winter Soldier, totally agree. Garbage. Didn't even finish it. Definitely overrated. Moon Knight was whack. I would put Hawkeye maybe a little bit higher. Trash. Dude, are you kidding me? The holiday special is really good. Wakanda Forever, middle. What If, decent. MOM, real good. Shang-Chi, real good. Guardians 3, real good. Werewolf by Night, I would put middle of the road. Haven't seen Deadpool, Wolverine. Yeah, this is, I tend to agree with this list, actually. Not bad, Eric.
All MCU titles since 2021, including the Disney Plus titles. I know.
Yeah, dude, I'm just telling you, if you're one of those people that really thought Moon Knight was incredible, I just really urge you to watch Legion. Noah Hawley's Legion. Hawley's Legion is playing thematically with a lot of the same stuff and also using visual language to discuss mental health. And after you have seen Legion, Moon Knight is so bad in comparison. Like, it is so bad compared to that.
Just by showing you this list, you're going to be like, wait, that over that and this over that? You. So let's just get it off the screen before they look at it too long. Wait, can they pause videos? Uh-oh.
Yes, we can pause videos, Eric, and we did, and we torched your ass.
That was my review of Deadpool and Wolverine. We got...
Okay, decent review. Okay, who do we have next? The Real Rejects. We're going to see Greg.
So many great
dude,
videos.
Greg made for one of my absolute favorite reactions we've ever done on the stream. Watching him react to the Marvels was peak entertainment. He was so fucking mad about the Marvels. And I'm so pleased because I believe he'll be a lot more excited this go around for this thing. Okay, so do they only have this instant reaction review? That's
This
cool.
video is brought to you by Mando. Their products are revolutionary and personal care, offering up to 72 hours of odor control. Seriously, I love them. Ladies and gentlemen, John and I We just finished watching Deadpool and Wolverine maybe like 10 minutes ago. First thing I'm going to ask you guys, please leave a like on this video.
Like the
That would mean
video.
a lot. Second thing I'm going to tell you all is that John and I, we were with a bunch of critics today. But on Friday, 6:45 p.m. Universal City Walk IMAX, we're going to be there. And if you're there, please say hi.
The only critics who matter.
Thirdly, we don't want to spoil jack about this movie for you. This is going to be one of our shortest out-of-the-theater reviews we've ever done.
This was, in fact, a movie. Deadpool and Wolverine were both in it.
And it's been a while, a long while, since I've wanted to deep dive into spoilers. Because
Oh
of
my
the-
God, look at the tone difference from his Marvel's review to this. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for me. I'm not sad for nobody.
experience we just had. So Monday, Coy, John, and myself are going to be doing a live stream. We don't know how long it's going to go for. It's also going to be after Comic-Con, so we're going to have so much to talk
Yeah,
about.
dude,
I'll
it's
just
gonna
give
be
you my
epic.
first feeling of when I left the theater. Overwhelmed in all of the right way. I literally
Oh,
just
hell
got
yeah.
nipple chills saying it. I felt goosebumps go through my whole body.
Multiversal nipple
saying
chill.
that. It reached
Oh,
the
dude,
point
nipple chill. I want a nipple chill too.
where my heart just couldn't take it anymore. Like, I don't want to overhype anything.
Life is a nipple chill.
Needed CPR, though. It was a whole thing.
I had to get an IV.
we had
after
to
the
jump
movie
him
was
back
done.
to life.
I woke up and I'm
Ryan
like,
Reynolds ran
are
in.
we still at AMC?
and was like, where is my number one fan that I may resuscitate him?
It's like, if you were there, you wouldn't call this overhyping. But because you weren't there, you might be like, you're overhyping it. I just got to be honest with you guys about my emotions. I was overstimulated. I cheered. At moments,
Yeah,
I didn't
man,
it just
we're
like, was
hyped,
bursting
Glenn
out of
Dong.
me. And yeah, it's going to be really hard to talk about this without spoiling Jack. So John, like in the trailers, they have like, okay, Deadpool has a threat to his world.
You did some timey-wimeys, and the TVA noticed that, and so your world might be in jeopardy, so you got to come help us out and fix it if you want the people who you care about to maybe
Get some
not be
ice packs on the
obliterated.
cheeks
That's kind
and
of
on the
even like really
nipples.
the plot.
It's not even. That's not the whole. That's
that's
the
the
thing that
crazy
kicks
part
stuff
about the
off.
movie.
Yeah. That's where we start at, and then we go a whole bunch of places from there. But if you want the most simple distillation,
And he needs the help of Wolverine for a very specific purpose.
those bucks, baby.
And they make it clear that
Hell
in the
yeah.
movie that there is bugs. They make it clear in the movie that there will be some multiversal stuff involved.
Some madness.
All we'll say is, I think, without spoiling anything, it's the best multiverse movie that Marvel has easily done.
This does feel like it delivers on the promise of madness that the title of Doctor Strange 2 had us in for. And
I know a lot of you are going to be very excited about that, because, look, the Multiverse of Madness rumors got pretty crazy, and the scene itself seems kind of tame. It's ironically like the worst part of the movie, too, structurally. So, like, Raimi didn't nail, like, using the sort of mandate. Instead, it felt a bit shackled by it. And I think what he's saying here is like, nah, like this is what you thought you were gonna get in Multiverse Madness. So I know that's gonna put a nipple chill into some of you guys.
didn't maybe necessarily deliver on. This feels like it is bursting at the seams. It is getting metatextual. It's throwing obviously things you maybe wanted and or didn't know you wanted at you, and yet it's still keeping all of that contained to some degree inside of the story that's happening.
But the movie's not just great because of like throwing candy at the screen. They do stuff with the candy all the time.
Yeah, nothing ever they never plop anything in front of frame to just be like, see?
Yeah.
All right, moving on now.
Yeah,
You know,
they
like-
make use out of everything. They don't waste. Deadpool, one of the things I think a lot of people had a concern about is, will Ryan Reynolds hold back? There is no holding back. It's like there was one joke where the audience went, "Oh, you remember that one?"
Shots were fired.
I'm gonna say, and I don't know, right? This is speculation. I bet it's a Hugh Jackman divorce joke. Just gonna throw that out there.
Like, they're in on the joke, guys, right?
Yeah.
But the joke was like, "Oh."
We were sitting there during She-Hulk being like, damn, they let them say some stuff. And then we heard from the writers of She-Hulk, they were like, they made us walk some of that stuff back. And this movie certainly didn't feel like they made them walk stuff back.
They make fun of the way fans have been responding to stuff. They make fun of personal life things.
The business and how the particular stretch of Marvel we're in has been going.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's a hilarious movie. And to me, it's the best usage of the fourth wall break and meta-ness that Deadpool inhabits out of all the Deadpool movies.
It feels
I have not seen the movie yet.
more like a living organism than just like a gimmick of the movie.
And it doesn't feel like ADR over masks or improv. Like, it really feels like they really even thought those jokes out.
Yeah.
Like, those jokes even have so much content, like so well edited. The violence. It's violent.
Woo!
It's very, very, very violent.
A lot of crotch stabs, boy.
A lot of crotch stabbing.
And a lot of other stuff, too.
I don't know what it was with the crotch stabbing.
A lot of gore and viscera.
There's like sexual jokes, but there's not really any sexual things. Yeah, that's the one part of Disney.
Really pulling punches,
yeah,
Marvel.
That's the one part. I don't know where they would have used it.
They made a big deal. I think that's why they made such a big deal in the trailer about like, oh, they won't let us talk about drugs to hide the fact that we won't see anyone get graphically pegged in this one.
But it's still very vulgar. It's still very irreverent.
It's gleefully so.
Of course, the man of the hour, the return of the Hugh Jackman.
It's
as Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes. My one little concern when I was watching this movie, the tiniest concern.
Careful.
Is
Marvel Jesus is listening.
Marvel Jesus is listening. We were a good portion of the way into the movie. I started thinking, this doesn't really feel like a Deadpool and Wolverine movie. This kind of feels like Deadpool and you can't spoil anything. Other stuff movie.
Deadpool and a whole lot happening movie.
X-Men.
And it felt like Wolverine was just part of that other
X-Men.
stuff happening.
Sure.
But then eventually the movie, for a lot of it, does become definitively
X-Men.
a Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Reject Nation, some of you guys have been so kind to point out, Greg, you look like you've been getting in better shape lately. And Greg,
I was actually going to say that. Greg, you look like you've been getting in better shape lately.
look like you've been pointing that out a lot more than we've been pointing that out lately. That's because I've been getting products that have allowed me to casually mention that. But with all that exercise comes a lot of sweat, and let's be honest, nobody wants to smell bad, especially when we're in close quarters filming.
I love smelling bad, man. Let it waft. You know, I like being a just stinky, hairy, grumpy
proximity to one another. That's why I've been using the Mando products. Heard a lot about them, and I was like, please send them my way. And as a vegetarian, it makes me so happy that they are all natural. They're high quality, and man, do they get the job done. First up, the Mando whole body. There's a little hair here. Ew, that's gross. The Mando whole body deodorant. It's safe to use anywhere. Why wouldn't it be? It's deodorant.
Whole body? Do people put deodorant on their whole body?
And controls odor for up to 72 hours.
72 hours?
Keeps me fresh and feeling confident. Now my wife finally cuddles with me. This next one I really like, the Mando Invisible Cream Deodorant Pro Sport. Cream is perfect for intense workouts. Keeps you dry, smelling great, without residue. My wife finally holds hands with me in public. This one's straight out of the shower. The Mando Acidified Cleansing Bar. It's fantastic. 4-in-1 powerhouse for shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. It leaves my skin fresh and clean, and my wife.
Yeah, you know you smell when you need a whole body deodorant. They should have the whole body deodorant for like Magic the Gathering tournaments or like Warhammer tournaments and just walk around on people and just like start rubbing it on them.
Finally lets me shower in the same shower she uses. I don't have to go to the hotel anymore. For quick refreshes, the Mando deodorant wipes. Perfect for on the go, gentle on the skin, and my wife finally let me meet the in-laws after using them. And lastly, the Mando body wash. Provides a rich lather and 24-hour odor control. The scent is incredible and leaves my skin smooth. My wife actually calls me by my name in the bedroom now. If you want to stay fresh and
God damn it. These wife jokes, you know what? He really dialed it up for this Deadpool spot.
Confident, get Mando. You can get $5 off of the Mando starter pack with code REJECTS at shopmando.com. That's 40% off. Trust me, you and everyone around you will appreciate it. You can use code REJECTS at shopmando.com and get $5 off your starter pack. So stay fresh, everyone. Or did she call me Steven? That was gross. That was my father's name. Out of the Marvel movies, out of all the Deadpool movies for sure, this feels like a true comic book movie. There's this one fight scene that I feel like people are going to be talking about for a very long time.
I can't
like
wait to talk about it for a long
Wolverine
time.
That they tease in the trailer is great, but there's this other fight that they don't show any of in the trailer.
No, and thankfully so.
Thankfully, oh, thank God.
Surprise!
Better casting choice, Wesley Snipes Blade or R.R. Ryan Reynolds? Probably Reynolds. He's just kind of a magical fit for it.
Yeah,
remember surprises, Gary?
Yeah. Thank God they don't show any of that stuff there.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff in weight, both for how like well choreographed and you know punchy, for lack of a better non-pun, you know, the action itself is, but again, also the different figures and players and elements that are incorporated into those fights and into the sprawl of the story. Like, part of me almost at the beginning, I was like, I wonder if this is just going to feel like a Days of Future Past, but with multiverses instead of time travel. But like, it really feels like its own sort of wild adventure. And I think you're absolutely right. Like, the first two Deadpool movies feel comic book appropriately, but they definitely feel like action movies that are made out of comic books. Whereas this did feel like a comic book come to life, and just how like zany and wild and sort of imaginative and goofy things are.
And picturesque wise too.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks
That's
like they
great.
bothered to shoot in some actual locations and build some actual scenery. There's madness and there's
I've never seen the road cut still, Ross. I can't believe I haven't.
humor. Sometimes the madness and the humor are also simultaneously colliding with pathos and with, like the actual themes of the story in ways that are really, like, you see the 5-writer credit, and on any other movie you'd be like, I don't know. But like here, it really felt like a few people got together and really hammered this sword and folded it until it
Yeah.
And I'm
totally,
sure
totally. I can.
they had to reshoot whatevers, and I'm sure they had to tool stuff around, but it definitely doesn't feel like a victim of that very much.
God, no. This movie feels like thought out and structured well, full of surprises. Cassandra Nova, the villain that is teased here, she's not like the most threatening villain. You probably wouldn't expect that out of a Deadpool movie, honestly.
Sure.
I'd argue she's probably the best villain out of the Deadpool movies, and she's a really good villain. The actress is better.
I loved watching her.
I think the actress is better than actually feeling threatening, but it's hard to feel super threatening in a Deadpool movie. But she's great. She's got some like horror moments and I think really add to bringing out more depth of our main characters.
And she's absolutely got presence, and it's not one of those movies that's only about vanquishing the big villain or whatever. That's a part of it.
Yeah.
So if you're really big hoping for like Cassandra Nova to captivate most of the movie, you might be left wanting, but I really liked what she brought here, and they do some very distinct and unsettling things with her abilities, and I loved her characterization.
That's
of
cool.
that.
And Paradox, really fun. That's all I'll say.
Matthew
It's really fun.
McFadden,
Really
very fun to watch.
Can't spoil anything.
Good
really
for
fun.
him.
Really fun.
Really having a good time.
Violence, great. Comedy, great. Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, excellent.
There are
amazing
surprises.
Amazing. Plenty of surprises.
You'll laugh, you'll cry,
and
you'll cream.
I'll say,
What?
like, it may not be like
I will cream.
the cinephile movie. It may not be like a Dune 2 or a Furiosa or a Longlegs or something. I can't imagine a movie that is gonna be more entertaining than this film. Like, I've seen some pretty entertaining movies this year, and this movie, I'm like, there's no way I could.
You'll what? Oh no, I said cream. I will cream.
Like, I can fathom a movie being more entertaining than this. So just by that standard alone, I would put it as like my favorite movie of the year so far.
It's such a blast.
Because it
girl.
is so goddamn fun. I loved it. I really, really loved it. It felt like Marvel magic.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. It manages its chaos well, and I think that, it's weird. Thinking about the event that this is and the amount of hype, it reminds me of watching a Spider-Man No Way Home, but I thought that they both have all this multiversal chaos stuff happening and all sorts of moving pieces and surprises, but I actually thought this, while Spider-Man No Way Home might reach a greater emotional height for some viewers, I thought this actually somehow made a more conscientious, like, actual story in the nuts and bolts of it, which is kind of impressive. So well done to them.
Absolutely loved it, guys.
Overwhelmed in the best way.
Overwhelmed. Can't wait for you to watch it. Can't wait to talk.
God damn, that's high praise, man. Woo! Okay, we got time for one more. One more. Is there a pick, chat? Is there a what should we do? What should we do? I'm wearing my white pants. Oh boy. 3C? Yeah, let's do it. I like that. Let's
Talk
do
about it on
3C.
Monday. Please go ahead.
Let's see here. Chris.
Oh, hello there. You know what time it is, baby. I was getting warmed up to review Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's do it.
I mean,
Hey,
they
guys.
did say you would cream, so here we go.
Thanks so much for clicking on this video. I just got done watching Deadpool and Wolverine at the red carpet world premiere. Let me give you my thoughts.
Damn, looking good, bro. The chain, everything, the pocket that napkin thing. Damn, dude, looking good.
So in Deadpool and Wolverine, we are following Wade Wilson, who has now given up the superhero lifestyle. He's decided to live a calm and simple life as a car salesman, when out of nowhere, the TVA come knocking on his door, telling him he's become Marvel Jesus.
I am Marvel Jesus.
This will put Wade Wilson on a path to have a team up with Wolverine, and many fans hoping it'll be the film to save the MCU. That's all pretty much say. Like any spoilers, you guys.
Hey, thanks, Austin. Appreciate it. Had to give a soup for you. Donning the armor again. We're so back. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah.
This will be a spoiler-free review, and oh my god, when I say stay away from spoilers, in fact, after you're done watching this video, close out the internet. Do not log back on YouTube or TikTok or any other social media platform until you have seen Deadpool and Wolverine.
I actually think a lot of people are being pretty respectful. There's definitely some leaks and stuff out there. I've managed to avoid a lot of confirmations. What do you guys think? I actually think most of the community is being very respectful of this.
Because there are some surprises. But let me just back up a little bit here. Obviously, you can tell I'm not in my studio. I'm in the Wolverine cave, but it's because I got a last-minute invitation to go on the red carpet world premiere for Deadpool and Wolverine. And before you start thinking, oh, that's why this review is super positive and over the top, Marvel and Disney were not the ones that invited me. It was thanks to Spotify, which this video is not sponsored by. No, they wanted me to make a TikTok for them. But they did send me, on my first ever red carpet, a bucket list item for someone like me who just loves movies. You can see I'm still in my red carpet outfit, so frickin'...
That's cool, man. Good for Chris. Chris had a lot of success over the last couple of years. I think he's got a great formula, brings great energy. Happy for him.
Go listen to the Deadpool and Wolverine playlist on Spotify. Again, not sponsored, but dude, I'm chilling for you now forever, Spotify. But even I can admit, I mean, the red carpet, being around the celebrities, the environment in that room, maybe deduct 10 points for my review, because even I can admit, maybe there's a slight bias there, but still. This is a movie a lot of us were eagerly anticipating ever since that first Deadpool movie came out. There's been small, subtle jokes pointing at Deadpool and Hugh Jackman and Wolverine maybe someday clawing it up together. I think the first two Deadpool movies are very well done, super funny, and I could just take 10 million Deadpool films, but I never in a million years thought we would get a film titled Deadpool and Wolverine. Sadly, though, this is at a time where there's a lot more negative attention on the MCU. People thinking that they've lost their way, that there's no way this movie can be good because Marvel doesn't know how to make movies now. Or those same people will say, no, this will be the movie to bring them back, and Deadpool will be Marvel Jesus. Honestly, I was just thinking there's just no way this movie could meet up to the hype level it's anticipating. It's building up. It's just gonna let me down either way. After seeing the movie, guys, there is no hype level that this movie cannot reach. I really hate to put this out there, but I'm being as honest as I can with you guys. There is no such thing as being overhyped for this movie, because you are going to be shocked at what it provides you. Deadpool and Wolverine
Buckle up your
exceeded
buttholes.
all my wild expectations, guys. This film, I cannot wait to see 10 times over. It's everything and more that fans are expecting from it. Like, we thought they were really starting to give away such major spoilers and things in the trailers. No, there are so many.
Yo, can we just take one slight break here to just think about where we're at right now as Marvel fans, and then think about the Star Wars fans, man. You know, I'm sorry, Star Wars fans. I feel bad, man.
Surprises from the beginning of the movie to the middle of the movie to the very end. It's a film chock full of stuff that fans are just gonna eat up. And, you know, part of me thought, is that all this movie is gonna be? Because admittedly, that stuff wears off. No. That is not the case with Deadpool and Wolverine. Whatever hype level you have, Deadpool and Wolverine is gonna shoot through it. And I know that's a dangerous thing to say, but that's where I was at. And I was like, there's no way. Oh my goodness, it's all happening.
Let's go!
Let me get into the insanely positive stuff. Anybody who doubted Sean Levy, the director, and in fact, if I'm being honest with you, I was one of them. I enjoy movies like Real Steel, Night at the Museum. Even Free Guy I found to be a bit of fun. When I heard his name attached to Deadpool and Wolverine, I wish I was jumping up and down. I wish I could see the vision of what they had, but I was doubting it. I was like, I don't know if he can really deliver what I would want for a big finale, especially with two stars like Deadpool and Wolverine with each other. And you were seeing that kind of hate online when the trailers were released. There was a lot of people thinking they were color grading artists and said, why does the movie look so dull and flat? This is the ugliest looking MCU movie. Sean Levy proved to me he had sauce I was not aware of. I was blown away by the action sequences in here. They are super well done and nicely choreographed. Not just that. The opening fight that you get in this movie of Deadpool with the opening credits, it is up there with the hilarious and amazing opening credits of the first
so that's
Deadpool
two people
movie.
making
And
that
if you
point.
remember that feeling you got watching the opening credits of that
I
first
do remember
Deadpool
that
film,
feeling. It was a nipple
that's
chill.
a high bar set, but it does it here. The energy is just felt in this movie, and it is a fun ride beginning to end. Sean Levy has a really good eye for these R-rated crazy action sequences. I know his name was like in the running to possibly direct an Avengers movie, which he supposedly passed on. Kevin Feige, get that man on the phone right now. I would love to see his action scenes for the Avengers.
So I think Sean is doing something else, Marvel. Probably something X-Men. You know, maybe something X-Men or something. I don't know.
His action scenes for Deadpool and Wolverine, there's a lot of great moments in here. A lot. Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm also going to say it, is the funniest MCU movie. That's one thing that sometimes gets heavily criticized in the MCU is their humor, the way it goes about it. But now that Deadpool is in here, and it's that self-parody humor, it's that make fun of Marvel humor along with every other cast member in there, this movie had me in stitches. It was a very funny film. The fourth wall meta jokes in here had me surprised at times. They were not pulling any punches. You could not tell me Disney was in there saying, you can't really say that joke. Oh, that's going a little too far. No. There's plenty of R-rated jokes in here where you're like, yep, classic Deadpool humor.
Nice.
One of my biggest positives and the thing I was kind of most surprised about with the movie is the way it does do what you're kind of wanting it to do, which is cameos, Easter eggs, things that comic book fans want to see, all that stuff that it's like, oh, of course you like that. You got that brain rot. Of course, little cameo is going to make you give the movie a 10 out of 10. It's got all of that you want. If anything, it's got what you were hoping Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was going to be, you know, a cameo fest, multiverse hopping things, stuff like that. This movie has that, but then it seamlessly transitions into a genuine, sweet, and emotional story. That's one of the underrated things that the Deadpool franchise has done really well. Whether you go back to the cancer story in the first movie, or Deadpool losing the love of his life, Vanessa, in the second movie, when there is serious moments, emotional beats, they find a way to actually take them seriously. Who would have thought that's something possible? And it's something I think Marvel does lose along the way. They can never have a serious, grounded moment without having that sentence end in a punchline, or having that sentence end without some sort of explosion or thing to divert you. It's let us breathe in to these dark, serious moments, and Deadpool and Wolverine have that. Deadpool is dealing with a lot in not wanting to be a superhero, the relationship with the love of his life not going so well, and not just him, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. I'm not going to say the performance or the acting is up there to the level of Logan, but Hugh Jackman Wolverine gets a couple of moments, a couple of speeches, very hard, in-your-face, insane speeches I was not expecting, that really add some serious weight to the movie that I was loving. There's one point in this movie where Wolverine is just going off on Deadpool, and the things Wolverine says in this speech, jaw to the ground. That's one thing they handled perfectly in this movie, is this weird dynamic between Deadpool and Wolverine. Because although you think, they just get along for the sake of the mission, no, there's a lot of butting heads. There is plenty of fight scenes between the two, really well choreographed, again, thanks to Sean Levy. But man, the way their relationship grows throughout the course of the movie, you just hope we get another time where we can see these two at it again. When touching upon a little bit of the villain of the film, Cassandra
Ryan says, super excited about the movie, but very bummed I can't take my sons as it's hard R. I get the appeal, but would prefer they still get PG-13 that have Laura's ramifications. Well, I will tell you, and holy shit, man, 10 gifted members? Thank you, brother! Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I would say, man, go see it and then judge it for yourself. You know, I think that's a decision for each parent individually. You know, my son's not anywhere near old enough to even know what the fuck would be going on in the movie, so I'm obviously not going to take him. But I think for me, I would just have to make a judgment call on each individual thing. I'd have to like see it for myself and then be like, okay, you know, maybe they can handle this, that, second, and the third. So, yeah, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the love, Ryan.
Nova, she was pretty menacing. She was a great threat. Her powers were pretty scary. She's got this really weird way of reading your mind that is just really gross on screen, but so cool. She's not going to be like an all-time villain of the MCU, but she will definitely be a memorable one. She'll be one where you're like, wow, that was a pretty intimidating villain. And you know, before I get to my negatives, when it comes down to it, I think most fans are going to be extremely happy with this movie. I think you have to be really grumpy or just down or a pure hater of the MCU
thanks, Rossi.
to walk away with
You're
a
so
frown on your
nice.
face. There's no way you don't walk out of this movie just having that gigantic smile on your face and feeling like, wow, that was so much fun. That's what this really just is. It's such a fun movie.
Sneeze.
There's going to be so many things you could pick at and go, that was kind of dumb. I don't know about that. But to me, it does the job of what you were hoping for and for sure delivers. My real favorite thing about Deadpool and Wolverine is that this movie was just a tribute to the Fox era of Marvel movies. Ooh. We kind of got a sense that's what they were going for whenever we saw the 20th Century Fox logo in the void. But with everything that happens in this film and its overall theme, this is one of those movies that is kind of like No Way Home, where that was a celebration of the previous Spider-Man films and bringing up those Spider people. This movie really does that for the Fox era of Marvel movies, and I think it does it well. But okay, getting on to some of my negatives, and I am going to be completely honest with you guys on some of the things I thought this movie could do better. For one, the pacing is lightning fast. Some people are going to be okay with that, and I'm not going to lie, I did like that. For the first like 20, 30 minutes, so much is going on. No wonder that's what they were showing fans at press screenings before they finally showed the full movie. There is so much jumping story point to story point, reveal and cameo and Easter egg. But it does feel like it's so lightning fast, you don't really get to take in those moments and breathe it in.
You gotta see it again.
Cameo, Easter egg, nostalgic thing. And that's a dangerous game, because then the movie could have easily have came off as a fanboy's lazy dream. Throwing in stuff you know fans would just go crazy over, and that'll be enough to give it 10 out of 10 reviews. But it is that sweet and emotional story, and them taking the more darker and serious moments of this film actually serious, that really helps it stand apart from just being a cheap film. The other thing I'll say is, with that pacing, some of it is messy. There's story elements in here that I think don't just flow well one point to the next. There's like one or two scenes that just feel like, okay, we're just leading into an action sequence. We're not naturally progressing with the story. We're just doing a thing that we know is going to be a crazy, bombastic, fan servicey moment. And you think, well, Chris, why is that a spoiler? Oh, ever since Spider-Man No Way Home came out, every day it feels like there's new haters on that movie. More people who come out saying, you know, this movie is actually not all that great once you get past the cameos and the big reveals. And
fuck that. That movie's awesome.
The awkward spaces of silences they added so the audience can clap. Well, I'm not going to lie, those moments definitely exist in No Way Home, but I'm never going to call that a bad movie because I feel like that movie meant so much to me. I am very curious how the longevity of Deadpool and Wolverine will be, because I can easily see some of that eventual backlash coming into the film. There's a
Guys, breaking news. Inside Out 2 is now the highest grossing animated film of all time, surpassing Frozen 2. Damn.
lot of jokes that feel extremely relevant
That's crazy.
to the time this movie is getting released. Not just from the language that Deadpool uses at times where he does say it, and this is in a trailer, he says, "Let this man cook." But some of the very specific jokes to, you know, Fox now being owned by Disney and that merger and the constant referential stuff to like celebrities and their relationship statuses. Stuff that I feel could date the movie, and then over repeat watches just make it lose a little bit of that authenticity and rewatch value. I also think the soundtrack aspect is going to be something that's going to be hit or miss for some people. The way Deadpool and Wolverine goes about the soundtrack in this movie is wildly different than the way it was done in the other films. Yes, there was still popular songs and whatnot that were included in there, but here it's very in your face. It's very, this song's going to play and we're going to go along to the beat of it. I was actually a big fan of it, not just because Spotify, like I said, was helping me out, and you can check out the playlist with Spotify. But I could also see some people just being turned off by it and going,
Lion King is #1. What? Anybody announcing that it's done, but Lion King is an animated movie? No, it's not. It's live action. Nope, wrong. Wrong.
I don't know if this song really matches with this scene, or if we really needed this, or why are we doing the Guardians of the Galaxy style thing here. But like I said, I actually really dug the soundtrack. But that's just more of a warning, because I do think...
Hey, Adam, why don't you go ask Donald Glover about it?
The soundtrack used was different in here.
Hey,
but
Mars,
that's about it, my friends. Those to me are all like minor, really small nitpicks. I'm not afraid to say I was in awe and drooling at over all the Easter eggs, cameos, and references in here, but that story, it's still feeling serious. That's just the kind of tone I would like Marvel to take more in their other movies. You can have your silly, dumb, fan servicey stuff, but take the story at hand seriously, because we care about these characters.
Yes.
And man, is it shown in here, because like with the
Hell
Logan
yeah.
stuff, while they're not trying to retread, you know, Hugh Jackman's goodbye to the character,
Did he really make a diss track? What the hell?
they still pay tribute to everything he's done before, and this still feels like an extension to his goodbye from Logan. Although I'd be very happy if Hugh Jackman wants to continue doing this till he's 90. This to me did not
I want that.
ruin Hugh Jackman's legacy. It built on top of it. The Deadpool trilogy is now one of the most perfect comic book trilogies in my opinion. I am so excited to go see this again, and I'm even more excited to talk spoilers and do a spoiler review, because that is going to be a lengthy video because of everything that went down in this film. So when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm going to give action 4.5 stars. I was shocked at the action sequences thrown in here. Sean Levy really does have a great eye for these R-rated scenes. The movements with the camera and the way it just kind of feels so fresh and fun. Really good stuff, Sean Levy. Humor in here, I'm going to give it 5 stars, man. I was dying of laughter. This is one of the funniest MCU movies. From the regular Deadpool-style humor to the fourth wall breaking to the jabs at Disney and even Marvel itself. There was so much to love, and I was just laughing out loud a lot. Drama in the movie, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I'm glad that they took the story seriously, that they did have serious moments. While I won't say the story this time around is as powerful of maybe the last 2 Deadpool movies, its whole aspect of paying respects to the Fox era of Marvel films really brought it up for me, and I liked that aspect of it. This is the No Way Home for the Fox era movies. Horror in the film, I'll give 1.5 stars. Cassandra Nova does have a really creepy way of reading your mind, but there is a lot of blood, explosions, guts in here. One really crazy scene when a character gets their skin peeled off, and that's just kind of fun to see. But it's an R-rated movie. You're not supposed to take a kid, but you're a bad parent, I think, if you don't take them to see this, man.
Yeah,
And
you're a
suspense
bad
movie,
parent.
I'll give it 3 stars. I will say you weren't that much on the edge of your seat
No, you get every parent has to make their own decisions.
on who's living, who's dying, or what's happening. You have a pretty good idea of where things are headed, but man, are you just enjoying the ride along. Casual moviegoers, I'm going to give this an A-. While they're still definitely going to love it, it is going to be the fans of the MCU who have kept up with everything. This is where doing your homework is really going to pay off when it comes to jokes, references, and Easter egg, because fans are just going to enjoy it so much more, which is why Cinephiles gets an A+. And critically, I'm going to give it a B+. They're going to be a little bit more harsher on the movie because of its...
Because they got their pinkies out and they're stinky friggin' selves and their self-important multi-syllable word bullshit. Man, fuck these critics, man. You know what I mean?
Pacing and more messier storyline, but nothing that overshadows how fun this movie is. In my honest opinion, Deadpool and Wolverine deserves the 3C guarantee.
Oh, the 3C guarantee.
Guys, I cannot wait to see this movie again. I cannot wait to talk spoilers with you guys. You are going to have a blast with it. Please let me know what you thought about Deadpool and Wolverine. Any negatives you had on the film, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff you're just not going to be negative about. You're just going to enjoy what you witness. I'm so
Hell
excited.
yeah, we're just going to enjoy what we witness. Okay. Dude, that was kind of fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm jacked up on Mountain Dew. I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey, Chip. I'm going to take your war medals and throw them off a bridge, man. I'm feeling crazy. I'm feeling so fucking good. I got a nipple chill. I'm bricked up. I'm ready to fucking go. Deadpool! 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 Oh! Woo! Okay, let me just see if there's any chats that I missed. Go over a few chats here, a few chats there. A few chats here, a few chats there. Rayumbo, 3 years. Let's fucking go, nerds. Nerd Vengers for life. I've had so much fun in this community. And Josh, you've been a big source of entertainment in times of need. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the support. Happy to be here, man. This is what it's all about, man. Roz says, can't wait for tomorrow. It's cool you going in unspoiled. Also, just dropped some new music with Sizzla from... What is this flag? I'm so sorry, man. I don't know flags. Check 15 seconds of it on stream. Sorry, bro. I'm not going to do that, but I'll check it out on my own later. Did you send it to me? I assume you did. I appreciate it, though. Appreciate you. Benjamin says, from everything I've read so far, I am losing my shit. Haven't been this excited since Endgame. Let's fucking go. Oh, hell yeah. Bunch of gifted members, man. Appreciate you guys. Filmic FPV says, Josh, I sent you a DM on Twitter about business inquiry. Can I get you to check it out later after stream, pretty please? Jay Brady. Oh, okay, yeah. Hit me up. I'll try to get back to you, man. I mean, look, I can't promise anything. Would love to help you out on that, but I just can't promise anything. I'll try to take a look at it, okay? I've just seen Deadpool and Wolverine in Australia, mate, and it was so good. I expected good movie, and it would delivered greatness. Throw shrimp on the barbie. Appreciate you, man. Vagabond of Light, you're absolutely right. That was a great video from Koi. Wrench City says, for the love of Logan, please turn up your volume like 3 to 5%. It's been quiet for like a week now. Sorry, love you, thanks. Is that a little bit louder? Is that a little bit better? See, it's peaking right now, though. Why you guys peaking, huh? Jared says, Nerdvents for life, Unity, take my money, let's fucking go. Not my Star Wars. Best community out there. Join the Nerdvengers. I've won more races since joining the Nerdvengers. Take a sip and get ready. Oh, hell yeah. Look, results may vary, but it's the best decision you'll make in your life, pretty much. The power, the energy, the karma, the amount of good things that are going to come your way when you become a member of this community officially. It's incredible. George says, flying to the tower never gets old. So hyped for this movie. Can't wait to chill with the Nerdvengers. Let's this weekend, Deadpool Wolverine plus SDCC will be hype. Much love. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Leon says, I want service to us fans. It's not fan service. I mean, I love getting service, you know. Koi review will get you excited. Hell yeah, man. Yes, but let's watch Logan instead. Pole Town. I don't know. We'll talk about it tonight. We'll go live on Twitch, 7:30, guys, and we'll watch Deadpool 2. Or Logan or something. I don't know. Just felt like riding. Says, so excited for Deadpool and Wolvie. Really hoping this does what Multiverse Madness failed to do. As what we all expected with the multiverse cameos. Love you. Nerdvengers for life. Appreciate you, man. Ben says, yo, happy to be a Nerdvenger for a year. Thanks for all the amazing content, dude. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Let's see here. We went over that one. Thanks for the snacks, Mr. JB. Caleb, welcome in. And then I think we've caught most of these. Right? Mars. Norin gifted a membership. Norin, rad. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Do we really need to hear his voice any louder, though? I don't know. Maybe some people do. Maybe some people do. Yeah. Oh, wow. It might even overtake Lion King. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Okay, guys. I got like 5-10 more minutes here. What else is going on in the world? What else is on your mind? Mike Kill says, I'm going Friday, so sadly I won't be in the stream, but my sister and I have been watching all the X-Men movies catching up. We are stoked. Let's fucking go. Oh, Andreas, I'm sorry, brother. I'll get your chat. That's awesome, man. And don't worry, because we'll be talking about it on Monday. We'll be talking about it Saturday night. Next week is going to be an incredible amount of content, streams, a lot of fun to be had, man. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then Andreas, Deadpool, Wolverine, and the Nerd Avengers are the only thing keeping me going through a tough time. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Stoked for 2 showings tomorrow. Much love. Let's fucking go. Hashtag unity. Hashtag take my money. Damn, bro. Well, look, I'm glad some dope stuff's happening for you in the midst of maybe some bad stuff happening. We've all been there. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes it pours. But the tower's always open. And we try to keep a strong vibe in here. So we stay vibing. We stay strong. And we stay nerd-venging. Oh, hell yeah. This stream made me even more excited, actually. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but, dude, this made me feel even more excited. Good times on the way. Kalen, appreciate you, brother. 10 Spot says, hyped for this film. Seeing it tomorrow night. Can't wait for the spoiler review and SDCC stream. Why has no one cast James McAvoy as the MCU Wolvie? He looks like Hugh and has the Logan build. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just because he played Professor X. Maybe people just have trouble seeing it or whatever. Does SN mean side note? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? Okay, so just to be clear, chat, no Nerd Venger stream tonight. No members stream tonight. Instead, we're going to be live on Twitch, and we're going to watch Deadpool 2. The reason we're going to watch it on Twitch is so that we can actually show the full movie. I can pause it and, you know, react to it, and it'll be super fun. Tonight at 7:30, we're going to watch Deadpool 2. Or Logan. Or Logan. Nah, we'll see. We'll see. So that's what's going on. Remember, Friday's stream is going to be a big fucking deal. A lot of cool giveaways. A lot of fun prizes for everybody. So we appreciate all the gifted members and everything like that. Tomorrow, the video will likely be my first reaction out of the theater. And I'll go no spoilers for a little bit in the video, and then I'll go spoilers. So you can definitely watch it, but you're going to want to check out once I say, like, spoilers. Because, like, I really want to get into the spoilers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Woo! I'm excited! Big Pawan's Banana says, I saw the Cameo leaks. They look peak. Oh, don't spoil, though. Don't spoil. Appreciate you guys over on Twitch. I appreciate you if you're watching on Twitter. I appreciate you if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the subscribes, the members, the chats, the gifted members, the super chats, all the support. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Much love, man. You still streaming on Twitter? Yeah. Yeah, we got like almost 800 people on Twitter right now. So we're doing all right, you know? We're doing all right. Look, I think the Twitter view, like, it's just an easy thing for a lot of people that watch on Twitter. Yeah, sure. Let me just explain this to you, Adam. If the number says that, then I sell that number to the advertisers. Think about it. Think about it. Most are bots. I don't give a shit. Pad those numbers, baby. Pad those numbers, baby. We gotta buy diapers soon. I don't give a shit. Elon, pad that shit. Pad that shit, baby. Let's go, Elon. 831 Red. Gifting 5 memberships. Unfucking believable. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Unbelievable support. Thank you so much. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Ah, yes, another happy landing. Another happy creaming. Wait, what? We're almost there. We've almost arrived. It's almost time. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. And then Friday morning we get together and we're going to church. Open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt. Whoa!